Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the second last edition of the SRW Porsche Cup Series for this season. There is only one more round coming your way, and that will be next week, and that will be the ultimate round. Tonight, of course, SR8 Radicals, followed by Porsche Cups again, same next week, is going to be that same formula as it has been tried and true for the last two seasons, but there is change lurking on the horizon. What will Thursday nights in 2023 look like? Unfortunately, I'm aware of that information, but I can't pass it on just yet. You'll have to tune in next week to find out. My name's going to go Rattlegun Rank, and alongside of me tonight is Connor Pixie Nixon. And for the first time ever, he is making his Sim Racing World debut on the cameras. It will be Mr. Robert Hayter. We say a big shout out to our favourite sainted lord. And ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be a cracker. It always is with the SR8 Radicals. Connor, have you been doing much practice this week in these things?
No, mate, I haven't jumped in these things for a while. Unfortunately, I haven't had time, mate.
I'm disappointed.
I know. Shock horror. Scotty Rankin being disappointed at me. Shock horror.
Mate, first it was the fact that he got in the car, then it was the fact that he got out of the car.
Oh, mate, it's just such a welcome, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, it should be a cracking of a night, eh, Scotty? It's such a good track and it's such a good car. I've raced here though, Scott. Not recently, but I've raced here in a league and got P2 on the night. So yeah, it's definitely such a cool car and such a cool track as well. So it should be good, Scott.
Yeah, man. SR8 Radicals, Phillip Island. It's a long, fast-flowing circuit and might show up on a few calendars next season because it's always loved by the drivers for its long and fast flowiness. Well, SR8 Radicals qualifying has already commenced, ladies and gentlemen. So times are going to start coming through board. Typical things to start off with these first few laps. They may not necessarily count on the overall. It's important to get a banker down, but more importantly, Connor, you've got to get those tyres up to temperature.
100%, and it takes about 3-4 laps to warm these things up. It feels like when you do that first out lap, it feels like driving on ice basically, and so it should take 3-4 laps to warm them up and go hard.
Mate, I've heard you on commentary. It takes you more than 3 to 4 laps to warm up.
Yeah, that too.
That's a little bit of track position games going on there. Michael Cutterjar is the driver we're looking at on screen. He's been the man to catch this season. Hopefully tonight as well we'll see the return of Scotty Callahan. I'll wait with bated breath, but I don't think he's out there on the grid tonight. The reason why Scotty Callahan has actually been giving up positions to a lot of drivers on the start-finish line right through the season is because he said that he wasn't going to be here towards the tail end. He wanted to come out, he wanted to race people, he wanted to put positional on them and drive cars and have a lot of fun. And we hope that, Scotty, if you are tuning in wherever you are, that you are having a phenomenal time. And we hope this broadcast can at least brighten your day when you can't get in a radical. Because Michael Cutterjar's about to tee off and go for another big old fast lap here, Connor.
Yeah, well, you can be fast, Scott, but how's Ray Oliver been this season? Last time he was racing, he got the whole win of the whole track, I guess. There was 2 sprint races.
Round. That's the one.
Yep, that's the round. And that's the one. And yeah, he got the whole round win. So I reckon he's on a hunt. Ray Oliver's just been an absolute weapon in these things recently. So I wonder whatever he can pull out of the bag now. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, all right. We'll go on board with Ray Oliver. I'll tell you what, Sebastian Vardel's starting to put a couple of sectors together. Went purple in the first 2 sectors, and guess who? Cutterjar immediately jumped on top of that one and pipped his first sector time. So Varndell will pop to the top end of the board to start things off as everyone's tyres start to phase in. 3 minutes and 50 seconds into the qualifying session here this evening. It's a long way to go yet. And I'm just going to have a look back at what the times were like the last time we were at results, and yeah, league settings, you can't actually do that, so I will have to dive back through the good old history and see what pops up through there. But yeah, look, it was Michael Cutterjar that won the last time we were at Phillip Island, and no surprises there.
He was very quick around here. He's I think it's kind of his little baby, isn't it, Michael Cutterjar? And I'm sure he wants to get another win at his favourite little track that he's good at, so yeah, should be good. But Ray Oliver just came across the line, top of the leaderboard by about 600ths, faster than Sebastian Varndell. It's good to see Seb out here. again. He did do our 50 lapper at Sandown, but we haven't seen him show his face again, so it's good to see him back out here.
Was he, from memory, he actually didn't have all that good a Sandown 50 lapper, so I was maybe thinking, no, is he buried his head a little bit, no. Kanajar's just across the start finish line, he's gone back to the top, that's who you're following through the southern loop right there, ladies and gentlemen. Now he'll start his run down through the centre of the lap. Might be an opportunity to actually go on board with someone. Kanajar's probably our best. We'll have a look at Ray Oliver though, he's just gone purple in the first sector. I'm curious to see whether Kanajar is going to go quicker. It's good to see Sheafy out there on track as well. Another car that the good old rookie enjoys. He's picking up past experience. Ray Oliver's purple in the first sector and not improving in the second sector. So a bit of fall away there.
Kanajar must have just got the purple because Ray's first sector actually went to green. So I wonder who just got that purple sector.
We're on board with Kanajar, so it can't be Kanajar.
Could be Seb. Can we pull up Seb's time maybe? Sebastian Vandel.
Yeah, maybe. That would line up with about where those cars actually are on track. Good spot there, Connor. Interesting. All of a sudden, a few different names in the mix and things start to pop open. This is your opportunity, Connor. Why don't you have Seb take us on a lap and you'll talk us through it here at good old Phillip Island as they come around the last two corners.
Oh my god, look at Seb's purple. He's on an absolute banger of a lap. Wish we were on board for this lap, but we'll go for the next lap. So they're coming across the crest. This is where you get the best run of your life down the straight. It's one of the best views you can get in sim racing. And Seb just does a 22.9, bit faster than Michael Kanajar. First corner, down a gear, down to fifth. Really just stick it in there. Oh, as we see Nathan Verney and Cowie just getting all loose there. Cowie coming back on the track. Seb's went down to third and now going back up the gears. You do not get much grip around there. The car starts to lift and the downforce really comes off it. Hit hard, nice on the brakes here, down to second gear. Oh, he's hit first, that's not really good. It's got the point in, but he has had a bit of a slide there. Going back up the gears, back on the brakes, just keep it in third. Now he's hit second, the thing's all sideways, the diff is locked. Now he's coming back up to the southern loop. Really just keep the foot in it. I'm just start listening to the noise. It's such a great note. Down to third gear, coming over this crest. Down to second, he's pulled it up pretty well. Coming around the second last corner, this is where you get no grip as well. Yeah, absolute zero. And, oh, he hasn't moved for the last corner, but ladies and gentlemen, there's your lap at Phillip Island. Just Seb abs.
That's not good news because he'll have to get back to pit lane to get that thing repaired, and I don't think there's going to be enough time left in the session for him to bring the tyres properly back up the temperature, and those fuel levels of every other driver out there are going to continue to go down. I've just logged into the session myself. Ladies and gents, if you are a Scotty Callahan fan, you will continue to see the powers at work drive their way through from the rear of field. So we'll see if Scotty can connect the dots this week and make it work. Parnell's going to go and take a breather. Few drivers will use the last few moments of qualifying quite regularly to get a break in, get themselves all prepped and ready. And it looks like that is going to be the case for our drivers here tonight. Interesting to note, Connor, the round format here tonight will just be a standard 45-minute. And talk to us about the workload around Phillip Island, particularly in a high downforce car, and perhaps in particular for the driver that's currently on your screen, Jacques Swanepoel. Good result last week at Sandown. How's he going to manage the stresses of the laps here tonight?
Oh, it's going to be very crucial just to keep calm around this place. It's not to be the fastest on the track. It's actually just to be the most calmest on the track. Really, if you put too much pressure on yourself, you'll spin a tyre, lock a front, or just go off the track because the downforce is not working. You haven't really realised that. So, like coming up to here, this is where like all your concentration will go to this corner. The car lifts up. Now it's came back on the deck. See, the car's had a bit of a wiggle. Come across the top. Downforce is not working. Now it's working. Down the hill, hit the brakes. And it's just been about calm, but being calm and not really being a bit of a you know, go as fast as you can. Just be nice and consistent and being calm. And you know, we've seen Michael Cutter and Ray Oliver use that as a very good strategy. Ray Oliver, probably the most one that's used the strategy the most. You know, is just be nice and calm and should get you through this race. It's sometimes it's not always about pace. Here's Scotty.
No, that's it. It's about putting yourself together. Drivers will talk a lot about different tracks and different layouts in the terms of this is a rhythm track, this is an accuracy track, this is a precision track, this is where you really want to perhaps take it easy on the tyres, you want to look after things a little bit better. Phillip Island, it's a loaded track, lots of long, flowing, fast corners. Real overtaking opportunities down into turn number 4. We fondly refer to turn number 4 as Honda Corner. Just after Stoner Corner on the straight, absolutely named after Casey Stoner, and what a phenomenal performer he has been in years gone by in MotoGP. And brought a lot of attention to MotoGP within Australia, and for all his feats in World Championships, Casey Stoner still gets around. He'd probably drive, he would have driven, I'd say, a SR8 Radical at some point. Loves his participation in, I won't say lesser series because I don't think the Radical is a lesser series, but would you say support category?
Yeah, support category, definitely. It's a car that, you know, support categories are basically, so say for instance, if you had the V8 Supercars around here for a weekend, they did it at Barbagallo with the SR8s. They basically go out there just to hype up the crowd because these cars are just awesome. And then they'll come back in and, say for instance, the V8 Supercars will come back out and go race for an hour or two. So yeah, it's a sport category, and you know, and like Scotty said, it's not to take anything out of these drivers because yeah, they're definitely definitely good drivers. Check
this out. Michael Cuttajar and Dylan DeBono were playing tactics at MG, which is the corner just after you crest Lukey Heights, and both of them backing the lap up aggressively, looking for somebody to give them a tow. So they will now try and kickstart their laps and get things happening. DeBono's just barely missed out the tow, and Cuttajar's a fraction too far back to get one as well. So maybe it was a back off, cool the tyres down and have another crack, because you've got to be out there, you've got to burn the fuel off, and we're into the final 3 minutes of qualifying here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, for your SR8 Radical Series, 45 minutes your race distance and a single race at that, which means that 15-minute marker comes out. Checkered flag will fly. Anyone who's on a lap will get to finish that one. And these drivers right now will be setting themselves up for that last lap dash for pole position. In terms of the qualifying battle here, Connor, probably one of the closest we've seen so far this series is, well, it's 200ths of a second, mate. There is nothing in it between Cuttajar and Varndale.
Yeah, it's good to see though. It's a wild card that's just came out of nowhere. Seb's a very fast driver. Versed him on the weekend, and he's came in to see what it's like to jump in the SR8s, and maybe he's doing it next season. See what happens. But Cuttajar's on a purple actually.
Yes, the Cuttajar's starting to put those times together. I know the middle sector did not improve in the first sector as he overcome the deficit that he set himself up in the first sector. Siberia was good. Lukey Heights was good. Yeah, MG was good. Through the second last corner, and he will set sail on what will be probably his last lap the next time by. Oh, he might get 2 in. He's going to get 2 laps in. So he will have 2 more opportunities to set a quick time, should he so choose.
Cuttajar got him by 10.
He get him.
Not much in it. Not much in it at all. This is very, very good. Is Seb out on track?
Seb is indeed out on track, but the problem that Seb will have is that he went to go to pit lane, remember, and caught that damage on the rear of the car. So his fuel level is going to be quite high, and his tyres will still be on their way back up to temperature. So he's going to be struggling to put some lap times together here. And I can tell you, Cuttajar, you thought he was quick last time by. Actually, it's Dylan DeBono who's all of a sudden put together the strongest first sector of this session so far. So with the white flag effectively in the air on qualifying, the next time by, there will be 1 more lap left to run. Jacques Swanepoel's now going to improve. He will jump up to P7. He was starting to drift just outside the bottom end of the top 10. It's all starting to come in thick and fast. 30 seconds now on qualifying. Who's on a lap? Who's going to get back to the stripe? DeBono is going to be right where the cutoff is. What's his times like? The middle sector, it wasn't as good, but we saw Cuttajar go to the top with orange in the first sector. Is Is that first sector good enough to take him to the top or take him a long way up? P3 might just be enough. Front row would be better.
I mean, it means there's more time in there in the lap, but
DeBono improved. DeBono improved.
Yeah, I was going to say DeBono's up in the P3 now. So there's more in it, ladies and gentlemen. Cuttager doing a 22.6, and that's qualifying over. So 2 minutes still to go.
Ray Oliver just binned it. There's a car off just ahead of Cuttager, so I can tell you DeBono, Oliver, and Cuttager, all 3 of them are done. So I would say that's just about it done. The only driver that's still out there that can improve will be Sebastian Vandel out of that top 4. The next one is the Cone Slayer, 9,000. Will Mr. Wall keep the thing out of the wall and register a strong result that he's been stringing together just about all season? What a drive he has had this season. He's come out of nowhere for Brad Wall. The pace difference is phenomenal. He started to show signs late last season, Connor, but this season it's all about success for Brad Wall.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's almost when you go into a new series, that first season's all about just getting used to the people around you and getting used to the car, and he's obviously done that, and now he's on the hunt to go and maybe even go and get a top 3 in the championship.
I want to talk about a tale that's gone perhaps in the opposite direction, certainly in terms of qualifying, but Andrew Cowan, I know that he'll be a little bit disappointed, but at the same time, he's out here for fun. This is Cowie's off night. This is when he gets let loose. This isn't Supercars, so he's not all that worried about it. It's got an 8 in it, so it's close to a V8 Supercar, so he says.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's got a similar engine, but less power, but the thing's completely different. If someone stood there and didn't know about racing at all, you wouldn't say there's a V8 in that thing, but I mean, yeah, the car's completely different, but it's good to see someone, a Flintstone, in a car that's completely different. It's good to see.
Well, they're all going to practice their pit lane entries, and that's never a bad idea. There's always time to be gained on the way into and out of the pit lane, ladies and gentlemen. That's what they'll be making use of the final moments of their qualifying session to do so. Good news, if you ask me. About the only thing he could do better is potentially do some practice starts, Connor. That's my favourite trick, that one. You can take that one. I'll let you have it if you want it.
I was going to say, yeah, I've had to practice my practice starts. Oh, my starts, sorry. Yeah, because I used to spin the wheels on a supercar, and Matt just used to laugh and fall off his chair almost.
I'll give you something that the Top Gear Australia crew used to say. It's just warming up the tyres, mate. There's nothing wrong with it.
Drop the clutch, burn about 3 layers worth of tyre. Yep, all good.
mate, it's you just lightening the car up, really. Well, ladies and gentlemen, qualifying for the penultimate round of the season on your screen. That's the results, and Cuttager once again will stick his name in pole position. Sebastian Vandel, the new driver to the series for Premier Racing Team, alongside of him in P2. Another new driver to the series, Dylan DeBono of TCR fame. Didn't have a great night last night, unfortunately. Came unstuck in the late running of things. Ray Oliver will line up alongside of him. Brad Wall and Aidan Schultz, another new driver to the series. Races on Monday nights in the NASTRUCKS Truck Series. Jock Swanepoel and Nathan Verney off of your 4th row. Andrew Cowan, Nathan Allen going to make up your 5th row, and that's a row full of banter if I've ever heard it. Wayne Edwards and Daniel Fritz round out your first page of results. Moving over the page, I think actually that might be it. Yeah, that is just about it. Scotty Callahan, Peter Gretton, and Tyler Sheaf are the other 3 drivers who all failed to set a qualifying time.
I was going to say, Sebastian Vandel's not racing for Premier Team anymore. He's actually driving for Bashut. So just
so he has changed teams. There you go. You're doing well, mate. You're keeping up with these sorts of things.
Oh, mate, I'm the goss of sim racing right now, and yeah, know what's going on, mate. Premier Racing's actually no more. And he's joined Bashut with Rob Carmichael and Teo Serrano. So, yeah.
Well, I would say that you're doing a great job, and but you make me feel old when you keep up with all these changes. I can't keep it up with it. How do you do it? Well, ladies and gentlemen, revs are going to start to rise. We're going to go racing here in just a few moments. Lights out. Who gets a great getaway? Not Vandel. Vandel immediately loses 3 spots. He is going to lose at least another 3 more by the time they get down to turn number 1. Cuttager away nice and early. He's going to try and push out very, very early on to a strong lead and see if he can clear the field, get nice and clear Brad Wall's going to try and grab himself a bunch of spots, and the Coneslayer 9000 moved itself up there.
Oh, Jacques extended him!
And Jacques Swanepoel will be the driver that makes contact with the rear corner of Brad Wall. The Coneslayer 9000 was in one of its best spots of the season for all of a few moments.
DeBono's just locked up to turn at the hairpin. He's just locked up massively and he's off the track now. Ray Oliver's into P2. We've seen this all season. Michael Cuttajar and Ray Oliver up the front, just letting the field away.
Yeah, well, that's just it, isn't it? Leading the field away. We'll see if they can really settle themselves in. Andrew Cowan's now off the road at Siberia as well. It's all going on in lap number 1, yet there is no safety car. But, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be your regulars back up in front. It's Ray Oliver and Michael Cuttajar that are going to take over control of this one at this point in time. And Cuttajar is setting sail. Within less than a lap, with the chaos unfolding behind him, he's broken the toe. He's broken the toe. Are you kidding?
Are you joking? But
are you having me on?
Aiden Schultzen and Angie Cowan was, I don't know what's not with me tonight. Angie Cowan and Aiden Schultz had a great battle there. Angie Cowan's off the road though, and Jacques actually went off again. So I think there's a few replays we can have a look at.
There's a few, yeah. Schultz is back there as well. Cowan's off the road. Who's that in turn number 1? Was that was Nathan Allen? Brad Wall replay will be coming your way in just a few moments. That'll explain what happened to him on the opening couple of laps. So, ladies and gents, it is not an easy one. There's a lot to sort out here. Here's the field scattering as they try and get through the southern loop on the first lap, and that kicked off with Swanepoel and Wall there. Connor?
Yeah, that was crazy, mate. Just everyone going everywhere. It's almost just like dodging and weaving and ducking and diving. Just
Have you been watching Dodgeball? Have you been watching Dodgeball, the movie, again?
Oh, mate, I've been watching everything. Obviously, with my epic, knowing about the sim racing world.
Are you trying to get us lined up on Channel 9 The Ocho or whatever the channel is?
Oh, mate. Yeah. No comment. No comment.
It's a brave move. It's a brave move. Let's see how it works out for him.
Yeah. But I think that's Jacques just going off because I think there was contact with. We did say it.
Who this time? He's just not having a good night, is he?
Jacques in 12th now, so he's, yeah, that's he wouldn't be liking that, I'm sure of it. Oh, Brad Wall.
Chief has gotten a drive-through penalty. And Brad Wall, sorry, what's happened to Brad Wall?
Brad Wall and Nathan Allen, no, Daniel Fritz and Brad Wall having a really good cracking battle into turn 1. That was awesome.
Well, Coneslayer 9000 came out on the right end of it, so all power to Brad Wall.
Yeah, and Dylan DeBono as well had a huge lock up into the hairpin in the corner right now. So he had a huge front, I think it's a front right locking, so the car didn't turn at all, and yeah, just went out in the weeds. And meanwhile, he's just up the inside of one of them. Now, Nathan Verney's in the mix, and look at this 3 wide up to the one of the best corners of the track. Love it. And DeBono gets around one of them. Now let's see what DeBono can do about Nathan Verney now. So DeBono got around Wade Edwards, right up the inside. Doesn't make it stick, but he's gonna see if he can slingshot on the straight. How's that score?
Yeah, I mean, you know, got to settle in. DeBono's finding his feet slowly in this car. He's had a couple cracks at this Dylan DeBono. This isn't the first time we've seen him in the SR8 Radicals. And I believe that might be down to Team Nathan Allen's fault, because there's been a few guys trying to convince him to come join it. And I think Nathan Allen's finally managed to get him to bite the bullet and jump in.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was kind of like that for a while with these things. I was like, oh, I don't know, but I'll tell you what, they're great fun. You can heel toe on them. They are just awesome. Sequential gearbox. It's almost like a supercar how it kind of works in a way. But yeah, definitely the body is definitely not a supercar, that's for sure. But what a great car. Maybe you and I should jump in it, Scotty, and for the viewers, we have a good old cracking little battle.
I'll stay to things that I'm good at, thanks, Connor.
Fair enough. Not going to dip your feet in the water?
Oh, Tyler Sheaf has received his second penalty of the night.
Oh,
which is related to some sort of rejoin was the incident that I heard.
And Schultz has left the server as well. Bro Ball just trying to chase down Wade Edwards there. Right on the back of him in the cone slayer.
Yeah, so Aiden Schultz's night has not gone to plan. And that's just the way it happened on Monday night, actually, for Schultz. He made a mistake going down into turn number 1 on car off.
Bernie. Oh, is there an incident with Dylan DeBono with that? No.
DeBono? Wayne Edwards?
No.
Did somebody not tell Nathan Verney the pit's actually a lot further to the left? Missed it by a country mile. But I tell you what, Brad Wall back to P6. So we're going to get a replay on board in just a few moments. Hang on, Verney's right about to go around Fritzy, so we'll come back to that one. But this is what's happened to Nathan Verney. I'm wondering, as he's picked up the grass on the outside.
Yep. Doesn't take much. Does not take much, because what I'm thinking is something sticked itself basically from the downforce and it's let go. So yeah, that's all it takes.
Have you ever tried to go running on wet grass of a morning, Connor?
Running?
Sorry, my apologies. Have you ever tried to get traction on wet grass, Connor?
Oh, never, mate. No, I have actually. I've actually flipped my wheelchair and barrel rolled about 3 times.
Yeah, ladies and gents, that was the joke that Connor called out. And I went, oh, that's just that's not above board. But at least you take it well, mate.
Oh, mate, mate, there's enough jokes from you. I just it's white noise at this point.
Yeah. yeah. You know that joke you make about the half-sucked mango? That's what my face looked like when I realised what I'd said.
Whose car was that anyway? I can't even remember whose car that was.
It was Van's with the car at Sandown. That's all I remember. Anyway, here comes Nathan Verney. Second time's a charm. He's going to line it up on a Daniel Fritz. He's going to follow him for a lap, and Fritzy will let that one happen. Verney back on the ascendancy, and I tell you what, it cast your mind back a couple seasons for Nathan Verney, and Formula 3 and SR8 Radicals. He was just this absolute gun driver. He's an absolute legend to be around in the sim. He will give you tips. I tell you what, the SR8 Radicals last season, he noticed my poor starts. He was the one that made me fix them. He gave me the advice. He's a lovely guy to be around, and I just don't know where Nathan Verney's edge has gone.
Yeah, well, it's kind of I don't know if you've ever done this, Scott, but you kind of almost like, you know, sometimes you just drop off a little bit, from school or work, or just from stuff in life. You don't get that practice time. Sometimes you don't get that practice time, and maybe that's not what Verney has been doing. But we don't know. But yeah, I mean, but he's doing well in P9. Just yeah.
Well, he's settled himself back in nicely. Nathan Allen there was having a cracking old battle. And what about this for Mr. Rear of the Grid?
Just noticed that he's up into P4. How's that for a drive, eh, Scotty? We see it every week almost, and we're still shocked that he comes to the field.
I've given up being shocked about what this man can do in a race car.
just run with it. Just run with it, It's just like, you see people in sim racing just anywhere, and you just see them from coming absolutely out of nowhere. I've seen it before. I think it was Corey Shefford. He started last and came through the field, and you look like a sitting duck basically in the water with that dude. So yeah, it's just those type of people.
I just see something's happened to Wayne Edwards.
Oh no.
Was that what I heard? Another driver who's not had the best of seasons. So something's happened to him, because he was 3 spots further up the field, up and around where Nathan Verney was. So something has happened to Wayne Edwards, and I'm going to see if we can find out what's going on here, Connor.
Yeah, let's see what happens, Scotty? So there's, I reckon he's went deep. Yeah, diff's locked. As he went around, yep. Oh yeah,
he's done well.
Doesn't hit the grass, like hit the wall. Sorry, he's hit the grass for sure, though.
That's a couple meters too deep. It's not much.
No, yeah. We could probably go out there with a tape measure and probably only be a meter or two he's missed it by. So, bit of a unfortunate error.
Daniel Fritz, you need to start practicing your drifting simulations, my friend. These things turn better when their rear wheels are connected to the road.
Oh no.
Did you not see that slide he got on?
No, I didn't see it.
Mate, reminds me of Carlos Sainz in the on the drying track from Monaco this year in the Formula 1.
Not Perez going into a wall this year.
No, in the actual race, Sainz lit it up, coming out of the last corner, trying to get back past Perez. And, yeah, anyway, the more I said about that, the better. Right, Ray Oliver has tagged himself onto the rear bumper of Sebastian Varndell, and we are about to witness two titans going at it. One of them, newer to the series, newer to the cars, hasn't driven them in a fair while, and the other one has been here week in, week out, showing his best wares on for sale for Frog Leap Racing. And I tell you what, here comes Oliver. If you're Sebastian Varndell, you are getting yourself a big old mirror for the car that has a wiggle on its way into the southern loop. He's going to get the drive out of the exit. He's close enough. That toe down the front end of the straight. Now Callahan will tie onto the back of these guys. Oliver's going to show the nose as they run themselves down into Honda corner. Is he going to get overlapped? No, just barely. And I tell you what, Varndell pulled that car up super late. Great on the brakes from Varndell.
Yeah, he's very good under brakes, Varndell, and I think Dylan DeBono's around as well. And he's just lost it, but we'll focus on this little pack here. And Scotty Callahan, how's this, Scott? We were talking about him, and he's already moved up, so much time on these guys. So
I'll tell you what, I'm going to be the first one to jump in there so that nobody else can take this joke away from me. And I say this completely knowing that Dylan DeBono is going to absolutely hate me for mentioning it, but he's putting the oh no back in DeBono.
Oh.
Sorry, Connor, for a loop. This will tell us the story for the Velocity Sim Sports driver.
Another bad punt from Scotty Rankin.
And if you watch closely here, I take out his rear wheels about now.
There goes it down from DeBono. Too much scandal, and he's went around, so he's just
heart and mouth moment then for Brad Wall for a few seconds.
I think new underwear would be nice for old Brad Wall.
Yeah, they'll have that one ready at the pit stop for him.
That would be great to see. I would love to see that. Just someone getting out of the car, changing underwear.
Yeah, it takes about 5 minutes. Just ask Greg Murphy what he did with it, how long it took him to replace underwear.
I do remember that. That's hilarious. That's too good.
You're
Good.
on fire tonight.
Oh, the punts are coming out. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to hear Scotty's punts, stay, but if you don't want to hear them, like myself, yeah.
Contractually obligated to do them.
I know. I've got nowhere to go.
Can I? I'm gonna have to message Stephen this week and actually have that added to your contract for next year. Contractually obligated to put up with Scott and whatever comes out of his mouth.
Yeah. It should say under it, just run. But can't do that anyway. So as shots just on the back of Edgy Cowan here, having a good old battle. Cowan didn't have the best start, so he's having a bit of a recovery drive. No one likes the recovery drive. It's probably the worst thing you want to do because you got to drive for another 31 minutes, and it's not fun. Same as Jacques here. Down to the back straight.
Probably time to have a little bit of a look in at the points. And I tell you what, there's actually a couple of surprises when we take a look at the SR8 Radical points, Connor. So in terms of things, we said that Cowan's probably not had a season that he'll like to remember, but he's sitting P3 in the overall standings.
Wow.
And Brad Wall, P4, is 80 points back. 80 points in 2 rounds. I just don't think there's enough time. With Cowan sitting in 10th, I mean, Brad Wall would have to finish on the podium, and Brad Wall 10th or worse in both races.
Well, that wouldn't. I mean, we look at Cowan's results, man. He's just been an absolute weapon when it comes just to consistency. He's always just been in that top 5. So, you know what? I'm not shocked that Kerry's, just been up there. And, some people go, oh, well, he wasn't the fastest on track, but hey, he was the most consistent, and that's all it takes. Seen it way too many times, people being consistent and finishing top 3 in the championship.
Yeah, see, I'm actually digging through the season now, and I'm just like, hang on, I don't recall seeing him on the podium at any stage in Cowan.
No, I don't remember it either.
So
but
there
there were sprint races though as well, so maybe he's picked up a few points just in the first race and, moved on. So on the back here of Cowie's diffuser, or the gearbox, both in the same kind of position.
Well, that's a recovering Jacques Swanespoel, so there's still a hope here. There's still a chance here. So, whoa, hang on. We've got something to talk about. Ray Oliver and Sebastian Vandel, I think, have just made contact.
Oh, hang on.
And it's in Siberia too, which is right where these guys, so that is actually Ray Oliver's rear diffuser that we're looking at the back of, immediately redressing as Sebastian Vandel. So that has all the looks of a guilty conscience. And there's damage to his wing.
I just saw what happened. We'll have to get the DSL Welding Services replay, and here it is. Thanks to Rob joining on the team. He's given us our great replay. So Seb's just slided out mid-corner. It's not the best shot, but he's tagged Ray Oliver in the middle, and he's just went flying off there. Scotty Callahan just goes flying past, taking the opportunity.
That angle doesn't give us enough.
No.
We're going to have another look at that one. We need a little bit more information because you just can't tell where they are. Based upon what you were just saying, Connor, I'd say that he's missed the apex. He's definitely saw the wiggle on corner entry, and then the rear end's come unstuck in the mid-corner.
Yeah, that's all it is. I think he might have taken a bit of curb as well, so the downforce might have just unglued itself, maybe. But yeah, it just looks like Seb's just had a bit of an oopsie there, and Seb's redressed him as well, so well done.
Well, I'll tell you what, we were talking about Brad Wall's recovery through the field after being all but dead last in the first lap. That's him, right there, on screen. Brad Wall, and those 2 cars ahead of him are Vandel and Oliver, and they are back at it.
Yeah, I don't think they'll get up anytime soon. I think Ray Oliver's got quite a bit of damage, same as Seb, so they'll be a bit down on pace. And meanwhile, Brad Wolsey's Cone Slayer 9000 is completely fine. And your teammate, Scotty.
I tell you what, I'm having a look at the Ray Oliver car, and I can't see anything, but he's going to fire off in a pit lane.
Yeah.
If he's got damage, that's the smartest way to go. That's how you handle it, but this is going to bring up an opportunity for Brad Wall to potentially tie on to the rear bumper of Sebastian Vandel, and Verney's not too far off the rear end of him, and this, we throw it back to Daniel Fritz, Cowan and Swanepoel. So battles up and down the field tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a snooze fest at times throughout the season. Not here tonight at Phillip Island. You have battle packs, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 9th, 10th, 11th are the 2 groups that are going toe-to-toe.
Oh, I mean, as well though, Scotty, you see Brad Sebastian Vandel being black flagged. That's, yeah, wow.
So, he'll have to serve a drive-through penalty at the next available opportunity, and something else happened with Daniel Fritz, because he's dropped back a long way. He was a mile off of this pack, but now he's back in their grip, and Southern Loop.
Fritzy, see what he does. So he's understeered, so he's put his foot in it. I'm going to say the car loops on him on the exit because he's put too much power down. Am I right about it?
Vandel's backwards. Vandel might have just towed. I think Vandel's done.
Yeah, he's done. He just pulled out.
Towed. Yeah, he's done. So that's the incident for Daniel Fritz.
Bernie's in, and so is Kalajar. Oh, yes.
So this is the exit MG, and that's Brad Wall, I think, going by. Yeah, and Verney immediately behind, and Vandel says, "Nope, I've had enough of this. I'm done."
From your point of view, Scott, now...
Oh! Hang on, Connor.
Oh!
Oh! Well,
What happened there?
I thought for sure we were going to have an awesome battle on the way into the pit lane, and it looks like Fritz might have just missed his braking marker for the pit lane entry.
He definitely missed his brake marker there.
Or did Cowie slow excessively?
I think it...
I don't know.
Hang on. Let me go and have a look myself.
I just don't know if he was going to make it. That's a difficult one.
Hang on. So the pit entry is about... What's the pit entry? About 80, you reckon?
Hang on, I can tell you. It's in the info tab. Pit lane speed limit for Phillip Island is 72 kilometers an hour. He was going to be just barely. What's Cowie doing?
What? Yeah, hang on. Oh, this is... What's Cowie doing?
So Cowie's about at pit lane speed limit, a fair way back from the pit lane. Look, Cowie is going to reach it definitely in time. Fritzy was a question mark. Based upon the times that I was looking at.
I've done it before. I've done a Fritzy, not hit anyone, but you can bring a lot of pace into there and just hit the brakes and skid it in. But
well, see, it's done NASCAR style. So for those of you out there who don't know what happens with an iRacing pit lane and how they adjudicate speeding and pit lane penalties, it is done NASCAR style. And what that means is it's done based upon timing loops and timing sectors, which are an average speed. It never actually picks up your peak speed. Never picks up your peak speed. It says you have 2 points here. You must go 72 kilometers an hour, and 72 kilometers an hour will translate to a specific time that is your earliest point of arrival through the pit lane. And then it will, between each sector, provided you're underneath that time, or sorry, you're over that time, which means you're slower than that earliest point of arrival between the sector markers within the pit lane, completely free to go.
I reckon, I'll put my money on it. I reckon Fritz would have made that, because...
It would have been very close.
At point of impact was 126 kilometers an hour. So... I reckon he could have pulled it up. I genuinely think he could have pulled it up. I might need to go and do some testing a bit later, but... I just want to see how hard I can flick it in there. Reverse entry, you know. Yeah, I think Fritzy could have done it. I mean, Cowie's done nothing wrong. I mean, I saw Cowie, and yeah, he's done nothing wrong. Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things that comes up no matter what you're racing, no matter where you're racing. If there is a required pit stop, Connor, there's time to be made everywhere. A pit stop, both entry and exit, is somewhere you can make time, but there's a lot more risk comes with taking time on the pit lane entry and exit. Is it worth the risk in that case? Do you think Fritzy's probably pushed the bar a little bit too far?
I don't think he has, because I've seen people just absolutely send it in there and still pull it up, so I don't think he's went too hard. I think he's just trying to maximise time, and he's just failed stopping the car before clobbering Cowie. So one of the cars is off the track there, and that's Nathan Allen just coming back on the track after just having a little bit of a oopsie there. So we'll have DSL Welding service replay, and there it is. So let's have a look what Nathan's done here.
Exit at Honda, second last corner on the track.
Great corner. Tested your tyres, and I bet you his tyres haven't been any good through there. And nope, better grass.
Oh, I'm on board with him at the moment. He's just had a big old wiggle coming into the southern loop as well, trying to get the car stopped. I think he's just downshifted aggressively, and it's unsettled the car in the middle of the corner. Cuttajar, ladies and gentlemen, is out to a 13-second lead at this point in time from Scotty Callahan, and Nathan Verney is now up into P number 3. Ray Oliver's, something's happened to him as well.
Yeah.
Again, which this is very un-Ray Oliver-like tonight.
Diff's locked. No? Yeah, diff's locked.
He's counter steering already.
Yeah, that's diff.
Oh, it's a great save. That's
very good. Oh. We had to open our big fat mouths. Oh, that was close. Is that Nathan Verney going by? Yes,
That would be.
it is. Yep.
And Brad Wall is still attached to him at the moment, so this is a good opportunity for Brad Wall to sit in there and pull him along. And Nathan Verney might be able to get working his way back to a podium. So everyone is now pit.
Did something happen at Brad Wall?
At the very start of the race, yes.
No, I remember him just being right behind Ray Oliver, and now he's just got back behind him. So
his pit stop was longer than everyone else's. 40-second pit stop for Cuttajar, Callahan, Verney. 42 seconds. So we're talking about end of entry to exit in pit lane, not time in the pit stall itself. So 40 seconds for Cuttajar, Callahan, Verney. 42 seconds for Ray Oliver, 43 seconds for Brad Wall. So that's where he's dropped off a little bit of time. Wayne Edwards was 41 and Andrew Cal was 45, but Andrew Cal, remember, had that incident on the entry to pit lane. So it looks like 41 seconds appears to be the average, and Brad was the longest of those who didn't have an incident.
Here's a question, Scotty. Now, obviously, we were talking about Cowie and
Brad?
And in the pit stops. With the incident Cowie had, is it when you stop too early, is that going to be blamed on you, or will the driver behind you get blamed on?
Driver behind, generally, because your brake lights are illuminated.
True.
That was one of the first things that went back and had a look. Was if, provided they have working brake lights, you got to react.
Yeah, true. Yeah, not wrong. Yeah, just thinking about Fritz again, because that was unfortunate. And Andrew Cowan's black flags got cleared as well.
Well, the black flag, for ladies and gentlemen who are out there, why Andrew Cowan would have got the black flag is because he would have crossed the... he picked up speed thanks to Daniel Fritz. Daniel Fritz was basically just trying to make him go faster in an area where you can't go faster. So he picked up an iRacing penalty for speeding in pit lane, and race control saw fit to have that one removed because there was nothing he could have done about it. Good call from race control.
You know what we were talking about before. Nathan Verney, we said he's kind of dropped off the pace, but he's sitting in P3.
No, he's not.
Nathan Verney, indeed he is.
Have another look, Connor. Would you like to retract that previous statement you made, Connor? Something's happened to Verney on this lap.
Right.
He's lost 5 seconds in the first sector, so something's happened to Nathan Verney in the first sector, either off at the southern loop, turn 1, or...
Yep, turn 2.
So we're out to find out what's going on for Nathan Verney this lap.
I was like, Nathan Verney's doing really well. Oh no. That's
you were getting ready to speak about him.
That's just so unfortunate. He's hit the dirt too. If he kept it off the dirt, he probably could have saved it, but he's going to lose heaps of time yet. So it's overcorrected there, so now he's going to face it back to the track. He has saved it from looping it three times.
I mean, he's lost 5 seconds, but that could have been 10 or 12, so...
Yeah.
Mistake made, but well recovered.
To be only 5 seconds, that's pretty impressive. But now he's going to hunt Brad Wall and Ray Oliver. So, yeah, bit of a challenge.
Ray Oliver's just on the verge now of starting to break away from Brad Wall in terms of that slipstream. It's about a second it normally starts to break up at. So Oliver looking to accept P3. 1 and 2 are off in the sunset. Scotty Cal's actually just starting to catch up to a little bit of lap traffic, which is Nathan Allen, who's just overtaken recently, and then it'll be Fritz and Jacques Swanepoel. So they're back fighting against each other. Nathan Allen was actually up in P8, so something's happened to him in the last lap as well.
Oh, now he's in the pits.
So he's been off the track yet again.
Replay. Dirt? No. Power? No. What's happened there? Oh, yep. Power. Too much right foot. Oh, I wonder if that's a diff lock, actually.
Oh! Nathan Allen is done. Is in the pit lane, and his car no longer has a driver in it, so that'll be the last that we see of him tonight.
That's unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
I'm just reading our YouTube chat. Oh my lord. Oh, Cowie. Poor Cowie.
Oh no.
He's absolutely getting schmozzled by the comment the fans at home as well. So.
Oh no.
Cowie should get thicker goggles so he can see the pit line. To the member of the SLM racing team, Mr. Jason Lamb. Yes, I know who you are, and yes, I'm watching you. Maybe a screen made out of a magnifying glass. Oh, Shivy's now laying the boot in. My word. My word. It's savage up here in the commentary booth tonight. Absolutely. Is that a second pit stop? For Nathan Verney, it is.
I don't think they'll need a pit stop, too. No, hang on. Oh, they might do.
Either way, Verney's in, and he's coming into his pit stop. So that says to me that he needs another stop, which means the whole field needs another stop.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. But Jacques on screen, P9, so chasing down Daniel Fritz now. Tell you what, Jacques would not be liking life right now in this SR8. But he's, oh, look at how much speed he's just brained through that corner. That was awesome. Almost F3-like. Oh, that's
Gardner! What is he doing off the road?
Out in the weeds. And
no, it's Tyler Sheaf. I think it might be Tyler Sheaf. Yeah, I think it's Tyler Sheaf. Sorry, the cars are very, very similar, ladies and gentlemen. It was Tyler Sheaf that was out in the weeds. Confirmation that Michael Cutter is indeed still circulating. It's good to see Sheafy back out on track, though, Connor.
Indeed.
When he is on the track.
No comment. Nah, I'd like to be.
Oh, there we go.
Who's that off?
Daniel Fritz. That was Daniel Fritz's rear tyres deciding that they've had enough of this punishment and they're going to seek union representation.
Yeah, look how much he's dragged it through the gap. Yeah, he's put too much steering lock and the tyres went, nope, I'm out.
They accepted it for a little while and then they hit their limit, and that was where it took over. That was too much. That's Tyler Sheaf. That is what Tyler Sheaf looks like. Can we get a comparison to what
Tyler Sheaf's off the road
versus Michael
Brad
Cutter?
Ward just passed him. Sorry, Scotty. Brad Ward just passed Ray Oliver. Ray Oliver went off the track.
He's still slow, and he missed the apex at the next turn too. Mate, it is not easy out there tonight. Everyone is making mistakes.
Tyre. Is that a diff?
I'd say this thing's starting to get low on the fuel tank. You know what? I reckon we do have a second pit stop coming our way.
Could be.
Because Ray Oliver pit at lap 13. Brad Wall pit at lap 15. The last drivers to pit were lap 15, so they've only got 15 laps worth of fuel, and that's in 6 laps time. 6 laps time takes us to about 40 minutes. So there is a second pit stop coming.
Unfortunate for Ray Oliver there.
Tell you what, wouldn't a safety car really spice things up now?
Oh, that's all I heard on Sunday. I don't know if did you tune in on?
No, I didn't.
Sunday? Okay. So Yeah, the Sunday Supercars, there was there was more than enough of that was for sure.
Was that back at Sandown again? I remember Sandown the first time around being quite interesting, shall we say.
Carnage? Yes. Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, when you're trying to squeeze 40 V8 supercars onto a minute and a few second track, it's always going to happen.
Yes. I can just imagine Jeremy Clarkson going, yes. But,
Indeed, and that's why we've summoned our real racing driver. Some say that he's never actually seen the bottom of a bowl of Fruit Loops. Other people think that he's never, ever taken his hand off a rattle gun in his life. All we know is he's called Connor Nixon.
Oh, yay!
Oh, Lord.
Oh, God, getting called the stick. I think that's it. Jesus Christ. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, all the viewers out there, I'm in a team called 19, and I'll tell you what, there's a few nicknames getting around right now, and basically
Muppets they are, absolutely.
Yeah, it's Muppets. Muppets that know how to drive. That's all I can. Pretty much.
Oh Lord.
Can't do anything about them, can we, Scotty?
I'm wondering whether or not Scotty Callahan's trying to fuel save you, because he's dropped 2 seconds. Like, so he's at a wiggle.
Try something different. Try something different. Throw the rule book out the window. Just go something.
Ray Oliver's pit. And guess where he's coming out? Oh, Nathan Verney just about let go on him and coming around the southern loop again. And that, remember I just said Ray Oliver? That's him in the background. So he's back out behind Nathan Verney. And if all goes well for Brad Wall, this could mean that Brad Wall comes out in P2. Particularly with that mistake. Right now, Brad Wall's got a lot less fuel on board than these guys. So lap times might favour him. Pit lane strategy. It's all kicking off, or as we like to say on a Monday night, strategy chicken. Well, strategy chicken, Connor. When are you going to pit? Who's going to blink first?
That's it. And I was doing a race before, ladies and gentlemen, and I've learnt recently, if you get stuck out in traffic, there's no point of pitting. You might as well just stay out. So that's what might happen with these drivers is they've got track maps on their screen, so you can basically see the track and you can see all the cars driving around on your screen. And a lot of people use that as an advantage and go, okay, this car's pitted, I'll see where he comes out, and if that car comes out with lap traffic, he'll go, no, I'll stay out. And until he knows it's clear, goes in, pits, put his fuel and comes out and fresh air and do some really good lap times.
Well, for Brad Wall right now, he's in vacant property. There is no one around him on the racetrack, so every opportunity to turn clean laps in clean air. And the other thing is, when he does pit, he will be in that fight with both Verney and Ray Oliver. Cuttajar and Callahan still yet to pit from the race lead as well. Let's talk a little bit further down. Ray and Edwards are starting to close back in on those guys. He is only 5 seconds in behind them now, 6 seconds. Cowan's come back a little bit, but now he's out on his own and Swanepoel. So that says to me. So let's start to talk through, ladies and gentlemen, drivers who have completed their second stop. Drivers who haven't yet to stop. Well, that's the way we'll go. Michael Cuttajar, Scotty Callahan, Brad Wall, all have not pitted. Verney and Oliver have. Wayne Edwards and Andrew Cowan have not. And Jacques Swanepoel has not. Daniel Fritz has completed his second stop. So about half the field, about half and half.
If I was out there, I'd just stay out until, because you're not getting tyres, right? And the more fuel you're going to put on, the more the car's going to be, I mean, when the fuel's out, it's going to be skatey, but you're going to be putting some good laps in, that's for sure.
Faster in a straight line, but the thing wiggles under power. You just got to be a little bit more precise with how you apply the power. But there is a lap time to be found. Can Brad Wall buy into some of that lap time and buy himself a P3? Michael
Shock!
Will pit from the league. Swanepoel into the fence. A night to forget from Jacques Swanepoel. And Tyler Sheaf has a meatball flag as well. So Tyler Sheaf will be returning to the pit lane.
Talking about a pit entry, that was sketchy if I've ever seen one. 2 wheels in the dirt trying to get it stopped.
Well, he still had to complete his pit stop to shock Swampole, so well, that's as good a reason as any to make a pit stop.
Look at this, Scott. 2 wheels in the dirt, trying to get the thing stopped.
Awesome. Well, the tyres are now cooled down, so
all good. Don't need a new set of boots. Oh no, Wayne Edwards just going off the track. He was gaining actually time. Now he's off the track. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunate for Wayne Edwards. Another one of those drives. Andrew Cowan's actually up a few spots since we last talked about him. So he's starting to put a race together. He's up from P10, which we were saying, you know, he's crawling, kicking around at the back end of the top 10. Now up to P6, and he will pit. Wayne Edwards is on an outlap, so good chance that Wayne Edwards might actually jump Andrew Cowan again. So that will be a battle to the end of the race.
That was good. A good stop there by Cowie, getting the car stopped. He must be wearing those thicker goggles now, so he saw the line, smashed the brakes, and that was it. Oh, Vernie just having a huge lockup. Going through it, he's committed. Oh no!
This was such a good finish too.
Oh, there he is.
Still there. He's done mega to save that.
Oh, it was awesome.
Here we go. Brad Wall's in pit lane. Callahan continues. Brad Wall in pit lane, and ladies and gentlemen, there is 3 minutes on the clock. I wonder how hard Callahan is pushing. Okay, there's no fuel saving. Forget it. I just went on board. There's no saving. He's not saving at all.
Oh, so Cuttajar was just pushing hard.
Yep.
Unless he saved it saved it on the first stint.
No, because he only got to lap 15.
True. It could be in this time. Tell you what.
Yeah, this is lap 30, so he's only going to be 2 laps short to the end of the race, is Scotty Cal.
I tell you what, these guys are going to have a debrief at the end and go, oh, I could have saved.
Yeah, he's in. He's in. Callahan is in.
I'd be saving fuel to get the end, you know, because that pit stop is what, 40 seconds, and if you've got a 40-second lead on the guy.
Well, put it this way: Callahan has only got to put 2 laps of fuel in the car.
Oh, true.
So it's not even a 40-second pit stop.
It's like I'm going to have a bet that's probably 15 to 20 seconds.
Check this out. Brad Wall in and out. Job done. He did get the spot back, so he is firmly up the road to Ray Oliver and Nathan Verney. Remember how we're talking about him having the slowest pit stop of the group in the first time around? Well, that was because the tank was very, very empty. He had to put more fuel in the thing because there was a lot more space in the tank. And he has now made good on that and covered them off. He was 1 second quicker than Verney. He was 3 seconds quicker than Oliver, and Oliver was the guy that was quickest along of this group the first time around. So he's made that deficit up on this second stop. Great job, Brad Wall.
Yeah, I mean, if it was only 20 seconds more, that would have been white flag, but they've got to keep going around, so there's probably a good 2 laps and there's still to go. And Nathan Verney just going off the road there.
Hard.
Yeah. But here's the thing, Scott, you don't want to push hard, you kind of want to be relaxed, and I was talking about that at the start of the race. You just want to be calm, you don't want to be just pushing it, and obviously seeing that, now he's just dropped heaps of time, so the P4's out of the mix now, even P3.
So how do you drive this from Brad Wall's position now? Because Brad Wall now looks at his relative and he goes, I've got 1 car, he's 2 seconds back, and I've got a lap to run.
I would still say calm, just drive it smooth, don't push it, because the more you can save a little bit more tyre, then you can go at the end.
Too late for tyre saving, Connor. Too late for saving.
See how hard Ray Oliver pushes and see if he makes a mistake. But if, well, the other option is just push like hell. And, we can hear in the background of Scotty
that is Cat's destroying the place. So I think that was a glass shattering in the kitchen, to be perfectly honest with you. Is it the glass or it's
I thought that was a mug.
No, It was in the kitchen. It's the other end of the house too.
Oh, lovely.
That's how loud it was. Anyway, moving right along. White flag you saw from Barney there was in the air, so this will be the one and only. There is one more opportunity for Ray Oliver to tag onto the rear bumper of Brad Wall and take this one away. This is Brad Wall's second to last opportunity to stick the SRW SR8 Radical up on the podium for the season. With 1 round left to go, this is the points tally that he needed to start earning over Andrew Cowan. Will it be enough with 1 league left to go? Drop rounds to come in, ladies and gentlemen. They have not been applied to this series as of yet. Brad always does the points and applies your drop round after the second last race of the season.
Well, we were talking about Brad Wall being a lot better, and that's for sure. This is probably the most successful car he's been in the whole season. Not the supercar, it's definitely this thing. He feels comfortable in it. It's coming around on the second last corner. And Michael Cuttajar's just taken P1, so what a great drive from him.
Callahan will take P2, and here it comes. It's all done. It's only accelerated down to the end of the race. Tyler Sheaf is out of fuel and won't make the line. That's the car that they will just pass there on the left-hand side. Sorry, that was Scotty Callahan. Brad Wall picks up P2.
Wow, well done. Scotty Callahan must have pulled over. He's been doing it all season, so Brad Wall taking P2 and Ray Oliver in P3. Good drive by both. Michael just pulling away from the field. Typical Cuttajar stuff. So Scotty Callahan, yeah, just pulls over, and because he said he doesn't want to take any points away from anyone, so just pulls over. Yep, there's the brake lights.
Yep, he'll just park himself up there. He's just waiting for Andrew Cowan. He's just coming around the top end of the racetrack. So it'll be Brad Wall, P number 2 in your closest championship battle. Brad Wall, P number 2, and it will be when Andrew Cowan gets this pass done in a few moments' time. And there he goes. So Cowan, whilst not on your screen, has passed the line in P5. P2 to P5, and Brad Wall will all of a sudden have something to celebrate about. P2 in the second last race of the season. He got taken out on lap number 1. There was contact in it. He drives from the back. He drives it to the front. P2, you've got to be ecstatic with that, Connor. I'm going to go and see if I have to clean up some glass shards. I'm going to leave this podium celebration with you, my friend.
Typical things, getting handed off stuff. So yeah, definitely wouldn't be good for Cowie's point of view for the championship, but I'll tell you what, Brad Wall would absolutely be electric about this P2 tonight. So we'll pull them in when they're ready to go, and we'll have a bit of a chat to them and see what they think of it. So we'll just wait for them to jump in. And we can just see Andrew Cowan going around. But yeah, P5, only 3 positions behind. So we'll see if Brad Wall at the end of the championship can catch back up. Another race to go. But it'll be very close, ladies and gentlemen. Be a good race to the end. But here's them lining up, and Michael Cuttajar just doing a quick skid there. Come on, Cuttajar, do a burnout. But awesome result from all 3 of them there. Cuttajar just blowing his engine there, and we got Ray Oliver in P3 just joining the green room, and we'll drag him in. Ray Oliver, mate. P3 tonight. How do you feel about that, mate?
Which version? Do you want the PG version or do you want the R-rated version?
PG would... I'd rather, mate. But go for the R rating. No, I'm kidding. Go for the PG, mate.
It's just a shame that you come to a place like this where it's all about slipstreams and you got some Muppets that have got an empty bag of talent sitting next to them on a desk that decide to spear tackle and try and pass everybody every 5 seconds when all you have to do is sit behind and use the slipstream and pass on the straights, and you actually gain time. But unfortunately around this place and that seems to go out the window with 99.9% of the population.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And obviously being in the championship, it'd be frustrating. Obviously, we can hear from you. And what was, besides from that, what was kind of your strategy point of view? How did that go there tonight, mate?
Well, the strategy was to take tyres in the first stint because we realised that the tyre pressures on the right rear were going through the roof and everyone was going to get sideways. So I decided to try and sit behind old mate that came past us and just sit there and coast through and show him as much respect as I would give anybody. And that's what I was doing. And then, he was slowing up and getting wide because his tyre pressure was going out. You could see how it was snapping off to the right, coming through some of the left-hand corners. I was just like, okay, all right, cool. Try and just get ahead and just keeps being smooth and try and tow both of us back up there. And that was the goal, was to try and get back into second place. But, yeah, you see what the end result is when things don't go to plan because you add other elements into it.
That's it, mate. And obviously coming back off a round win from last week, which was absolutely astonishing, mate. I don't think you could have been any more happy about that one. But from this week's point of view, it's a bit like, yeah. But, mate, P3, it's definitely not what you sound like you want, mate. But you got to be happy for Brad Wall being in P2.
Yeah, it's good for Brad because, I mean, Brad's been putting in the hard yards. So, I mean, I'm going to always give him kudos. And really, it should have been Scotty's, but Scotty's been a gentleman, as he has been for the whole season for everybody. So I appreciate what Scotty's done in that manner. But, yeah, I mean, I just planned to be second because PI is not my place of love. And it was all set out to that plan and it was working to that plan. But unfortunately, yeah, you guys saw the results.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And obviously, as well, you've been kind of putting your feet in the GT3s as well and your teammates. How's that been going?
It's been going good. It's been a surprise. We'll again not talk about last week's little end of race scenario. But yeah, it's just everything's going well apart from the other organic parts.
Yep. Yeah, and your teammates have been doing well too, mate. And Jacques not having the best result tonight, but yeah, your teammates have been doing really well in the AM split.
Yeah, we've been getting Brian O'Loughlin up and getting his speed up, and that's been one good thing. And we've been working as a group unit, the three of us on the setups, and just trying to get everything going so that we're at least all advancing in one direction. And that's been the main plan, is just to try and get everybody going in the same direction so that we can all grow. And you're seeing the results over the last few weeks. And Jack tonight had a shocker. And yeah, these things happen. We all have a down day every now and then. And it happens.
That's it, mate. And who would you like to thank with all your sponsors and your family, and who else gets you here, mate? Who would you like to thank, mate?
All the Frog Leap Juice boys, Juice Energy Drinks, FH Creative, Toyo Sim, the Pet Door Company, and I'm going to forget the other one. Absolute mental blank. All Ports Gaming, that's it.
Well done, mate. P3, Ray Oliver, ladies and gentlemen, well done, mate.
Cheers, all.
So we'll move on next to the next competitor, and I'm going to say that's Brad Wall sitting in there. Hang on, give me a sec. There he is. And we'll move him down. Oh, no. There we go. Brad Wall, mate, P2, you must be electric about that, mate.
Yeah, I'm a bit over the moon for it. I wasn't expecting it at all, with how I was doing in practice, but no, I got through it all. Yeah, no, chuffed.
Yeah, you must be, mate. Obviously, these things just look like your strong suit, mate. You know, I've seen you in the supercars, mate, and you do all right in those. But oh my god, mate, you've went to a different element, mate, in these things.
Yeah, I just jumped in this series for a bit of fun, man. So I don't know where it's come from, but yeah, it's gone from a bit more serious than what it was fun now. So, but no, I'm enjoying it. So. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, you just you had an incident at the start, mate. Being at the back, you would have thought, oh no, this is not going well.
Yep. The first thought was, oh crap, there it goes. There goes my season.
Yeah, that's it, mate. But honestly, you came back, and you know we saw people just make mistakes, and you just came through the field, and you were like, "Thank you, people," and I'll be moving on.
Exactly that, man. Yep. There's a thank you every time I went past.
Yeah, and
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, mate. What a round, and you're catching Cowie in the points, mate, because he finished P5, and now don't know where the points will be, but I reckon it'll be pretty close. And coming into the last round.
Yeah, it's going to come down to that round, so I hope he repeated this week and he's back down the back and I'm back up the front.
be good to see, mate. Getting a P3 for the championship would be always nice for the SRW team, that's for sure.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. Especially I'm sitting P3 in the TCRs at the moment too, so yeah, I'm having a good season 4 with SRW.
100%, mate. And talking about SRW, who would you like to thank, mate, with all your sponsors and the family and whoever, mate? Go for it.
Firstly, the sponsors for SRW, obviously, Warren and Brown Tools, Racecraft, Melville, Promo Department, Dragon RC, DSL Welding Services. And yeah, I thank my family too for letting me do this and watching me in the background, egging me on. It's
And that awesome teammate you have on a Wednesday night.
Sorry, I can't forget Radagon.
Don't thank him. Don't thank him.
Yes, got it in there. Sorry, I my cats went and smashed my coffee mug, so I've been cleaning up.
It was a mug. It was a mug.
Oh,
Yes, I got it. I got it, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Brad, what an awesome night, mate. P2. I don't think you could have done it any better, mate. Well done.
Neither do I. Thank you for that. Thanks, boys.
Too easy, mate. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, I think that wraps it up. Yeah, no, Cuttajar.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, Michael Cuttajar obviously sends his thank yous, but doesn't have a microphone, not able to talk to us here this evening, as has been every week. Mic check.
I'm turning on the coffee machine now, Rob. Help me.
That's all right. Let me know when. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for sticking around during the SR8 Radicals. That was our penultimate round with only one round left to go in the championship. So make sure to come back next week. Same time, same place, same channel. And right now we are jumping into practice. Just the last end of the practice of our GT3 Porsche Cup, our 992s. And again, this is our penultimate round. The points are close. There is going to be some great battles tonight, so stay tuned while our comms team is just having a quick break, grabbing a drink, and they will be with you soon. I'll leave it up to our capable hands of our producer, Rob, tonight to show you some cars running some laps.
Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Comms are on, buddy. Comms are on. Comms are live.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Porsche Cups. We got 30 seconds before qualifying is about to kick off this evening. Once again, Rattlegun ranking, shaking, rattling and rolling all the way out tonight with the Porsche Cup action and the SR8 Radicals. And Connor, the puns, they just to keep on flowing.
Yeah, mate. Let's see how many puns you can, pun out this time in the Porsche Cups. Had a pun on a pun. How good.
Yeah, mate. That's what it's all about. So, all right. Well, 30 seconds. Ignore Tyson McAvoy off the top end of that screen. That's your your practice order at this point in time. And as soon as that's over, what will end up happening is we'll flick ourselves over into qualifying. Tyson McAvoy, safety car driver. He's in a GT3 car. He gets ABS, he gets traction control, he gets a little bit more horsepower. That's why he's got that little bit of extra speed. So go ahead and ignore that one for me.
So yeah, they all come out of the pits. Lamar Sharman just following Matt Stewart out of the pits, and here's our track temp. 23 ambient temperature and a bit of humidity, 6%. Clear skies and 8 kilometres an hour in the old wind department. So not bad tonight, Scott. Not bad.
Yeah, reasonable temperatures, or not too upset, not too shabby. She's going to be creating for some interesting racing. Right, this is exactly where we were the other night, ladies and gentlemen, for the TCRs last night. We'll be returning here to the exact same track layouts.
Yeah, well, you've got a bit of practice around here, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, Porsche Cup cars, they're a little bit better, though, than the old TCRs, so...
Yeah, not bad at all.
Good news, in Porsche Cup cars, the tyres come up to temperature much, much quicker.
I can imagine. I can imagine. On screen, Sam on screen, so just coming around the last corner now. New 1-9 livery as well, so he swapped teams. No TriStar anymore. Coming across the line now. We'll take you for a lap. You get a non-bulge shot. We can walk you through it. So down to the first corner, really nice and hard on the brakes. Just trying to get the thing turned in. Little understeer through there in mid-corner, but he's still got it turned in. Very nice. So is this one coming through as well? Very nice.
He's going to settle himself down in here through the middle sector, try and get some nice rotation. Well, he's gone purple in the first sector. Somebody else has just jumped away and taken that one away from him. So he had it for a moment, and then it's gone for Samuel, but he was nice and quick. Harry Dodd's purple in that second sector. It's been taken away from him. Who's on laps? Sagas is a little bit further down. Probably Adam Hughes might be one of the later cars in. Matty Stewart is now jumped in with a purple sector.
The chili bin. So Dodd's on screen, and he's just went wide there. I thought he was actually going to go out in the weeds there, but he's kept a hold of it. Sam goes by him now, so Dodd's going to get a little slipstream here. So he gets a good run. Sam comes out of the corner, very nice. Let's see what kind of lap time he puts down. He'll be one of our first to put a lap time down. He will be the first. What does he get? 1:19.4, so he's done really well there. His practice lap was actually a 19.3, so he's only a 10th off, Scotty. That's pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad. Can't complain. You'll take those any day of the week. They come on through. Indeed, he's doing quite well. So settle ourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. Action's going to be coming to you thick and fast here tonight. It will be one race in the Porsche Cups. 1 hour, the journey. Pit stops are going to be crucial around here. Undercuts, overcuts, we'll be talking about them. We'll see if the drivers can get to that halfway mark. Your fuel percentage for the race is 40%. So that will be about 40 litres. That, I think, says to me we've got another two-stopper on our hands, Connor.
Yeah, mate. I love a little two-stopper. It's so much fun commentating it. And for the drivers out there, if you're leading, it's no good. But if you're down the pack, it's the best opportunity to get a pass done from a pit stop time. Sam just gets a purple sector there, so he's on a pretty good lap time here. Let's see if he even goes into the 18s. Coming across the line now, Sam,
So the drivers will settle themselves down in. Purple sector in Sector 2. Sector 4 was slower than his previous best, but he has improved enough to go to the top of the charts there, Connor. So they are coming through on the lap times, and 1:19.0 from Weir, and Mazomo is a 19.294. So 2 tenths separate those guys. There's a further 7 tenths back to Matty Keane. Adam Hughes will now jump in and split the difference there for those ones, ladies and gentlemen.
Hughes just gone wide. I think that was, looks like, could have been Greg Barber. Yes, indeed, it was Greg Barber just getting a bit of tail happy there. Back on the track now, though. Done much practice around here, Scotty?
No, I actually haven't, so yeah.
Well, you're glad to be
Not the Porsche Cup car.
I've actually done quite a few laps around here, so done a few around here. Definitely a great combo, Scotty. Awesome combo. So yeah.
You think every corner's an early apex, so you can turn in quite early to most of the corners? Actually, the opposite way around in the PCRs. Yeah, they're all late apexes, every single one of them. Yeah.
Especially turn 1, it's probably the funnest little part of the track, because Greg Barber just goes really wide. He's done such a late apex on that one.
Interesting to note, I just saw Sam Muir just come back around. He actually went and did a practice pit lane entry. And that's it. As soon as he entered the pit lane, as soon as he braked and got down to pit lane speed limit, got out of the car straight away. So he was making sure that he practiced the pit lane entry only. Wanted to make sure that he got his lines right. He was out there on track. Probably what's happened is that he had enough fuel for that second lap. Gets to the dying stages of the lap, and it's not good enough. So, well, he's already that far invested into the lap. May as well get something out of it.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's to go, okay, I just need to practice my pit lane, because obviously we saw in the last race with the incident with the pit lane. So, yeah, obviously it's good to learn them, and yeah, game heaps of time.
Got to put the time in.
Yep.
Got to put the time in. Who's that on screen? It is Greg Barber.
Yeah. Matt Stewart just passed him as well. Oh, Matt Stewart just going around in the weeds now.
Tough night here for Greg Barber because he's such a long way. Oh my word! Why are you that far out in the weeds? That's a new line.
That's the chili bin line, apparently. let's have a look. So Matt Stewart. Oh.
You've got a wiggle on, and it's slipped ends and gone back the other way.
Kiwi's out in the dirt, so Matt Stewart practicing his pit entry as well. Brains and gases now going on a lap. Now I pulled over.
Has it continued? It absolutely has continued.
Yeah, that was Matt Stewart going in the pits.
Talent.
Talent. Oh, don't tell him that. He'll combust. Trust me. Hey, Dodds and Adam Hughes working here together a little bit. Dodds just getting a massive slab, so he should be on a pretty good lap here.
Jack Pickett's shown up here tonight and put himself up in a P9. I did see some calls out there a little bit earlier in the chat.
Oh, new driver or?
I don't know. No, Jack's been here a couple times. Okay. He's in a White Pies Cup.
Yep. Oh, the teeth? Yep. Yeah, I have seen him before. Yeah. My apologies. Sorry, Jack. Love that car, actually. Great looking car. Juice car going by.
Honestly, I just want the sponsorship. I don't want the car, I just want the sponsorship. I love a good pie. Real pie aficionado, mate. If there are options of things that I can eat, pie is normally quite up there.
Really? I'm a sausage roll kind of fan, but you know my reason.
Don't do me like this, Connor. Don't do me like this. Mate, that's not cool. You can't set me up.
Oh, that was perfect. I had to take it, Scotty. I'm sorry. That was perfect.
Oh, you're a muppet, you are.
That was perfect. I think it's just the puns and the jokes of Thursday night. Matt Stewart on a purple. Unless the timing's...
Yeah, so You want to start charging through. Mazomo's starting to come on through as well. Oh, okay. Never mind. My apologies. That is going to be not the actual lap times for a lot of these drivers.
Oh, bit of dirt getting kicked up there. Matt Stewart again. Matt Stewart not being Mr. Consistent tonight. Mr. Dirt. So Harry Dodd's just getting around him as well. Good little passing opportunity that is as well. And one of the crisscross cars as well, Sam Muir off the track. Brent's Gas is just following Greg Barber around the track. Greg Barber sitting in P4. Brent's Gas is on a hot lap, so I wonder if that's affected or not. Sagasa being really quick at Sandown. Wonder what he can make of Winton. He did say he does not enjoy this track at all. He thinks it needs to be nuked. So, apologies for all the people that made the track. Brands, I guess, absolutely wants it gone. But, yeah. On a lap, let's see what he does. Sitting in P7 right now. Has he jumped up? No, indeed. He's going for another one. Simon Mazuro is on a, looks like a good one.
Mazomo, mate. Mazomo, we'll get you there.
Mazomo.
Send it out with Mez.
Oh,
Mez?
no, I'm not doing it.
Mez.
I'm not doing it.
Mez.
No.
Mez. You say Mez. We're gonna keep with this until you do it, mate. I'm sorry.
Mez?
Connor. O. Muppet.
I was waiting for it.
Put it together now. Put it together now. Mazomo. Thank you.
Getting roasted. Typical.
Ladies and gentlemen, English lessons with Connor Nixon.
Yeah, terrible. Must be on there. Must be. Yes. Adam Hughes has jumped up too.
Yeah, there he goes. Starting to put it together. Let's just a bit over a tenth now. Just a bit over a tenth behind Sam. And he's on another lap too. No, I think he might be on a warm-up lap.
Craig Barber, no, that could be just timing. Yeah, the timing's... I wonder if that timing's actually relevant down the bottom though. Oh, Greg Barber's jumped up. P4.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a long way back for Barbs.
Yeah, he's
That's better.
Wonder if he's struggling tonight, or the setup doesn't suit him, or doesn't like the track. Wonder what it is.
There's a long list of complaints normally.
Could imagine. Yeah, if you want in the 1.9 chat, I'm sure you could find some. That's for sure.
Is there a lot of them over there, is it?
Oh, mate, there's a few. There's definitely a few.
Oh, coming around to start another lap, Sam Muir has just gone ahead and put down three best sectors in a row, and he will jump out. He improves by 2 hundredths of a second to push out just a little bit further in front.
He's done really well there. Just getting about a lap time as you do, almost into the 18s actually as well. Done really well there. On the crisscross cars on board.
Critically too, Connor, this will be the last runs for these guys as well, as we've got 2 minutes left in the session now. So there'll be a few guys that'll be... Oh, Hughes is done. He has gone very, very wide.
Oh,
so,
no.
A bit of the grass.
That's not good, Hughesy. Oh.
The problem is he's got to get the car back out and rejoin the circuit without getting a cut track penalty, because if he gets a cut track penalty, that's qualifying done. If he gets a slowdown penalty, he's okay. Don't forget, tonight's broadcast proudly brought to you by DSL Welding Services and Melville Equipment Corporation. If you need your equipment needs met, Melville Equipment Corporation can get you sorted right out. If you're in the market for some new tools for that good old garage, well, Warren & Brown Tools have got you covered. All the Sim Race Old sponsors, they all work together to really get the job done at the end of the day. And that's what it's all about. DSL Welding Services, Warren & Brown Tools, Melville Equipment Corporation. These are the guys who will sort you out. See cameos, combos, all put together real nicely. That's how you do it, Connor.
Very well done, Scotty. Very well done, mate. And side sponsors as well: Racecraft Simulations, Dragon RC, and Toyo Sim, and can do it without them.
See, I left a little bit of meat on the table for you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
Amar.
Welcome.
One of the Vice Motorsports cars on track. Doing pretty good. P9. Amar's we were talking about his success the other week, and I tell you what, he if he could drive his little Fiesta out here, he'd be very happy, I reckon.
Well, qualifying is just about coming to an end. Drivers that are currently on a lap are the only ones that will be able to get a lap in. Who's going to be able to get it done? Dean Hunt will not be one of those drivers to improve this time. I think that's it. I think we've got one car left on track, and that is Harry Dodds. Greg Barber, I think, is the other one who's out there. Everyone else is now finished with their qualifying attempts. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. And I think Barber's going to do a pit lane practice entry, because that does not look like a Porsche that's going very quickly.
No, it's just cruising around. About a minute and 18 seconds, so yeah, that would make sense. So just cruising around. I think Dodds is on a lap. What's that, Dodds in the background there? Yep, that's Dodds. See what Dodds can do. No, he's going in the pit lane. Oh, that's very aggressive. Let's see if it gets pulled up. Yeah, nice. Oh, flicks it in. Very nice, Dodds. Dodds having a lot of practice around here. I've seen him a lot of times in the Supercar around here, so I think it would take long to adjust. Coming in the pits now, so we'll wait for them to park it, and that will be it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, oh, look at that. Everyone nosing into their garages at 45-degree angles. Is that that's got to be planned. It's got to be planned.
It's got to be. Now, I think this is going to be an interesting one, Scotty. An hour worth of racing in these Porsche Cups.
Tyres. I think tyres are going to be the real story of the night, Connor.
Indeed, mate. Indeed. I think it'll be quite interesting. I mean, the track temp's low, but just wearing on them, put too much throttle and spin a bit of tyre. There's a chunk of tyre off it. There's track temps again. If anyone wants to have a little look again, but yeah, definitely good scenery, good temperatures today in Melbourne. We've I think if I remember correctly, in Sandown wasn't too pleasant. It was a bit damp and a bit yuck. So there's your results for qualifying. Sam Muir, Adam Hughes, Simon 0. Cooked it again.
I didn't need to say it. I didn't even need to say anything. You knew what you'd done wrong. Yep. But Sam Muir, Adam Hughes off the front row, Simon Mazzomo and Greg Barber are going to take out row number 2. Moving further back, Matt Stewart and Harry Dodds in row number 3. Brandon Sagassa and Jake Jackson make up an all-19 MX Raps Racing row number 4. Amar Sharma, again, returned to the series last time out and continues his run here tonight off of P9 alongside Dean Hunt and P10. Jack Beckett, Tyson McAvoy is a safety car driver. Go ahead and ignore him. Please ignore him. Don't, if he gets up to tricks, just ignore him, ladies and gentlemen. Go away. I promise you, he'll go away.
See what happens here, Scotty, eh?
You got to give him. You can never ever let McAvoy get away with anything, mate. The instant you let him get away one time, he's just going to hold it over you, lord it over you for the rest of your existence. So,
is he still doing it about that with the Indy cars too? If I have before we start. Oh, that was a night to forget about McNamara. Not McNamara. Tyson McAvoy. Jesus Christ.
Mate, you are.
I'm on fire tonight. Right, let's see our start. I'll tell you what, good grid tonight. Good, strong competitors. Very competitive tonight. So small field, but very, very strong.
Very strong indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, Porsche Cup Series for the second last time of this season. Lights are on. They're about to get underway. Who's got the run to turn number one? And a great launch from Adam Hughes off the outside of row number one. And the inside of row number two, it's going to be Mazzomo that gets the jump. Greg Barber's defending quite aggressively as someone tries to slide down the inside. It's Matty Stewart on the run into turn number two. They're all going to have to back themselves off. They'll settle it down. And the fast starting Adam Hughes, we'll see if he can hang on to his tyre life and bring that thing into the equation. Sam Muir in his first ever drive for the 1-9 MX Raps team slots off of pole position into P number two. It's going to be him and Mazzomo. They're going to be going toe-to-toe yet again. And Adam Hughes' return to the series. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, one of your previous winners in your Porsche 992 Carrera Cup Series has had work commitments take him out of contention this season.
Yeah, he's definitely not been doing it too many, but yeah, he's back on the grid. And look at this track. 3 MX Raps, just 1-9 MX Raps, just all lining up basically and working together. They'll slowly come through the field as what they'll be playing. It dodges. Oh! Braden's just got all loose off the corner. Jake Jackson's going to try and get a run. Jack Peckett going around there in the background. Mar getting around that. Get a replay of that as well.
Was there a pie on the outside there? Did he spot a pie? Was it a Whitey's pie?
Oh, it might have been you, mate, tackling the car.
There was a fan on the track, ladies and gentlemen, a fan on the track that took him out. This will tell the story as they come down through turn number 10.
Oh, no.
And 2 corners out of this.
Oh.
Yeah, he's already lost the rear end, so he's just lit the rear tyres up exactly the same as happened to Sagasa, with a little bit less deftness to prevent the rear end from going around, and it's all but rotated on Jack Pickett. He will slot himself down into P number 11. Now Hughes has Sam Muir crawling all over his rear bumper, so we'll jump straight back to the battle up at the head of the field. And that's what it looks like. 4 cars covered by nothing. Throw a blanket underneath of them as they go around the gum tree one more time. Connor, the difficulty about Winton Park Raceway, where are you going to get those overtakes done?
Mate, honestly, you can throw it up in turn 1, but honestly, if you can make your competitor have a bad exit right here, honestly, that's where the passing opportunity is, to come up to here and get the corner done. Because if you can, it doesn't really affect you if you're going slow around here, and if you get a good exit, you're all good. So probably there, right there, would be a good spot back there. And yeah, even turn 1, you can make a pass as well. But yeah, there's not many, Scotty. There's absolutely zero. So for Greg Barber and Simon, it will be a very hard one to do tonight.
Something critical, Connor, that I just noticed on that last lap was where the cars are stronger. So it looks like Sam and Mazzomo, sorry, Muir and Mazzomo, the 2M drivers, have got very, very similar cars. They're driving in similar manners, and their pace comes on in similar manners. Adam Hughes, all those zones that you mentioned that are going to be your overtaking zones, that's where he pulled the gap. This sector right here is where Hughes is extremely weak.
Yeah, definitely. You got to find the weak spots as well, Scott, and back them up and get the good run, and just trying to find where their weak spots are, and just go, okay, they've locked the front wheel here, right? That's a point. Okay, they're a bit slow. Yeah.
Have a look at them. That's all because Hughes is so weak in this middle sector. He's just backing the field up. It's not intentional. It's just his car cannot turn in. And then he gets down to this end of the track, and he's going to start pulling away.
Yeah, well, Greg Barber was struggling in qualifying to get the thing turned in, and Simon makes a dive on Sam. Is there contact? Oh, bit of contact, and it was the move I was talking about.
Oh, there's going to be more contact involved between Barber and Harry Dodds. Dodds will take to the outside of the circuit. Wait to see if there will be a redress out of that one, but the field will scatter as they come down the front straight away through the Motorsport News S's and down into Condit Corner at turn number 3. And it only took 3 laps for the field to go absolutely mental over that one.
Yeah, it didn't take long, did it, at all? So this will be interesting coming into the back of the race. And replay comes up now. DSL Welding Services replay. So,
oh, it's already happened there. It's already started to unfold. It's the move that you were talking about, and it's Muir defending from Mazzomo, and then Dodds sniffs an opportunity. But do you think there was contact between Dodds and Barber there, wasn't there?
Yeah, oh, I'm sure that MX Raps 1.9 car would absolutely might need a bit of brand new underwear, because, yeah, but let's have a look. So
the critical factor is, have a look at Mazoma. Mazoma's trying to build the car's speed.
Oh,
back
yeah,
up.
there's
He's missed the
contact.
apex. Barber's missed the apex by a country mile.
Oh, that Dodds going to be on the back foot, and Adam Hughes up the front is really struggling to get that thing turned in. Maybe just needs a bit more rear roll bar on that, because
It's too late now, Connor.
Yeah,
It's too late.
I know. It's not a supercar, that's for sure. But he's gonna have to just struggle with it. It's an hour-long race. Can he struggle to just get that thing turned in? Look at that. He's just missed the apex massively.
I'm wondering. I've just got on board with Dodds, and I think he's got a tiny, and I'm not talking much, I'm talking like a mil or two. His steering wheel doesn't seem to be returning to dead center.
Oh,
And it's nothing in it, and that's when you start to second guess yourself as a driver. Though. There's locked brake this time coming down to the midsection. You can see a whole big puff of smoke.
Yeah, I'm just watching Hughes. He is struggling with this thing right now. Up the field.
Well, if he's struggling now, Connor, what does he do? We've got 55 minutes to go.
Well, it'd be better when the car's low fuel, but God, it's not going to be.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, that's an MX Raps car off the circuit. Oh,
See what I mean? That's Harry Dodds is on board, and it doesn't look dead center. It looks, it's. I tell you what, if I wasn't OCD, if I didn't have a little bit of that OCD, I wouldn't pick it up. But it's bothering me how tiny it is out.
Jake Jackson going off the track as well. But yeah, it's OCD definitely helps for that kind of a point of view. But let's see, Jake Jackson. Yeah, not enough brake pressure. Went wide. Yep. See you, Jake. The GT3 driver of 1.9, the group. So he's probably not used to having no ABS. So well, I was talking about that with through the week about that, and yeah, he said it's a bit weird to go back to something that's got no ABS. Seriously, he jumped in a cup car at Bathurst and locked every brake in the car and went straight into a wall. It's hilarious.
You're telling me you've gotten out of a car that doesn't require all that much talent. You've got to go and find your talent again.
Oh. Oh.
Jake, I hope you're listening. I hope you heard that.
Yes. Oh, Jake was probably gonna lose his. He's probably gonna laugh his head off with that one. That's a funny one.
Well, I'll get a filthy message tomorrow.
Oh no, he'll probably just laugh. But we can sit here and laugh, Scott. But we know if we jumped to the GT3, he'd probably flog us.
I'm still on board with Dodds. It's bothering me. Like, it's actually making me, like, unwell.
Stop watching it then.
I can't, because I'm not sure.
Oh, mate. What are we going to do with your aid? But, yeah, Adam Hughes, he's still struggling up the field. He's got the position, don't get me wrong, but he's still just struggling to get the thing turned in. And about Winton, it's all about having turning and not... You know,
is this set of his built to maybe look after tyres a little bit better?
Yeah, but if you're understeering, you're actually... I'm thinking you're burning off tyre.
In this early phase, yes, but then the car's going to get real dancy once they start to burn off on the fuel. Maybe that's where they've targeted their setup.
Maybe. Well, he's got the lead, so it wouldn't be bad at the end of the stint. See what happens, though. Jake Jackson riding on board. With just hunting down
he's fuel saving. He's fuel saving.
Ah.
That's what's backing the pack up. I just said there was no throttle input.
Hughes has always been our fuel saver. I'm going to ride on board with Sam as well. Simon just goes for a dive on turn one. I was talking about a position. That position, Sam's going to run on the outside. Let's see what happens. Oh, this is what happened to Scotty when Scotty got... Oh, ran off the track, but that didn't happen. Almost contact mid-corner. Let's see if Greg Barber can have a go at this.
I tell you what, Adam Hughes has just gone, you know, thank you very much, boys. I'll just scoot clear, thank you.
Yeah. Gravescraft entry, just doing a great job there. Going up the inside. No fuel saving from Sam's point of view as well.
Look at the respect shown from Mazomo and Muir. Like, that could have easily ended in tears. There was, what do you want to say, 5-10 centimeters in it? For a lot of that?
Not even that. Not even that.
And they both pop out the other side. That's critical. You can't, if two guys like that don't commit to going through every corner there, side by side, no one gets through.
Yeah. Definitely. It's a respect level, and Sam was talking about that through the last week. He said he's got so much respect for all these guys here. You know, with Simon and Greg, and with Adam as well. It's great to see heaps of respect being shown, and that's what you want in, when you go racing, isn't it, Scotty?
That's it. I'm curious where this goes from Adam Hughes, because now he's got Mazomo crawling all over him. It's a track position race this here at Winton Park, and all of a sudden, Adam Hughes has had it mostly his own way. He's going to have some questions asked of him by Mazomo here.
Well, if he's been fuel saving, 13 minutes worth of fuel saving wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, but now he's got a fight on his hands. Muir's dropped back just a touch.
Not too bad. I think he's more defending off Greg there.
We're on for a scrap, an almighty scrap, and now the front bumper cam is going to show exactly how close Simon Mazomo is going to get. Great drive off of turn number 9 from the 95 driver of Crisscross Racing. Watch this, down the end of the straight. Is Adam Hughes going to go for the fuel save option? Is he going to cover the inside? What's the strategy play here? No, he's decided now he's got a button on a little bit.
Yeah, and the guy from nowhere, Matt Stewart's just sitting behind Greg Barber as well. So from the haircut himself. Does he like that name, or
No. He honestly, I think when Greg Barber watches a lot of this back, he just wish we stopped talking, to be honest.
Oh, righto, Greg.
Sorry, mate. I'm paid to open my mouth and flap my gums about.
That's it. It's not bad to flap our gums, is it, Scotty?
Apparently, you got to pass wind through those vocal cord things and move your tongue and your teeth.
Which a lot of these drivers don't do much.
Oh, that was contact. There was contact then.
Simon just pushing him through the corner. Great. Now Greg Barber's saving fuel as well. There's a strategy here. Oh, Matt Stewart's got around. No, that's not Matt Stewart. Oh,
Sam Muir. Yeah.
Got a.
No, he's in behind. He's in behind Greg Barber. Yeah, I got excited too because I was like, oh, it's 1.9 car back on the rear bumper of a crisscross car.
No. Just another 1.9 car with another 1.9 car and another one on another one.
Oh, Amal Sharma's made a mistake too now as well, so he's run off the circuit. We'll see if we can catch up with what's going on with the Vast Motorsports driver. The orange and blue livery down the inside of Dean Hunt.
Sorry. Oh, he's just lost the rear end there.
Great driving, Dean.
That was awesome. Heaps of room given. Just went around. Is there a bit of contact there? Hang on.
Nah. It's incidental, if it is. Now put yourself in Harry Dodds' position. If this is indeed a two-stop race, and you can make it home definitely on the 2 stops from here, and we've said he's got this slight little bit of damage, and he'd be starting to feel that now because the tyres be wearing funny, there wouldn't be contact in the surface of the road properly. There'd be something going on the front end for Dodds, and Dodds is a confidence driver. When his confidence isn't up, I'd pit him. I'd pit him if I was the, what are they, Precision Sim Racing?
Performance,
that one. I think it would be the high performance thing to do.
Oh. God, another one. Another one. We just need a counter for Scotty Rankin here, ladies and gentlemen. Now to the start-finish line, coming down to the first corner. And I was talking about the passing opportunities, and they've both used turn 1 in the second last corner.
Yep, so Pack's starting to back all themselves up again, so I think Hughes is done with his fuel saving. He had a number to hit. He hit it for a few laps, and he's got the job done. That's Dean Hunt there on screen. Unfortunately, he's made a mistake in the last lap.
Yeah,
Goodbye, Amar Sharma. This will tell the story. Up at turn 4, this is.
Dirt. I'm going to say the dirt. Yep, understood. Yep.
Oh, he's done. Okay.
You always have that moment when you watch a replay and you go,
Oh, man, he's done amazing. Yeah, nah.
Yeah, no. Oh, is he backed off the circuit? We'll never know. Oh, car's very pointy. Just seeing the car flick around there.
Hot rear tyres, that is.
Yes, yeah, definitely. What's happened to Dodds? It looks like he's dropped back a little bit.
He has. It's that front right corner, man. I'm telling you. He hasn't got the braking performance he wants anymore. I've seen him pinch a whole bunch of tyres. Front rights.
Any lefts, I wonder if that's affecting as well. Oh, that would be why. Oh, does he hit the wall? Oh, I wouldn't go sideways.
Oh, well done.
Oh, well done, Dodds. Well done. If it's a 2-stop, I wonder how close they are to stopping.
I mean, the moment's there. I just pull out and go.
Yep. I mean, they're in a...
Stuff the fuel. I know if I'm in Mazzomo's shoes, I've got the pace. I'm going to get this job done. So there's 2 things he's trying to cover. Number 1, cannot afford to come out in traffic. Just ask me how that worked out last time.
Oh, Gus's car not looking too healthy. Oh, Jake Jackson just went flying off the track. I mean, you can almost do it like strategy, just go in. And if you're all teammates, just go in and use each other as a bit of slipstream.
Oh, stuff that. If you're teammates, you got to split the strategy.
True.
You got to leave one person on both strategies, and then the other guy, whoever your fastest guy, gets his choice of which strategy he wants to be in. And then pretty much after that, everyone else just sort of knuckles down. But the 1-9 guys, there's enough of them, and they're all sort of that close together. Who gets the pick?
That's it. That's it.
Where's Barbara at in terms of his fuel saving too? That I do want to know.
Well, he's fuel saving too. I've heard the clutch. So...
Whoa! Ask Sam Muir if he's just had a haircut, because, yeah, he's still saving. He's still mega saving from Greg Barber. He's in the best position on fuel. If he's still saving, whereas Hughes is going to go chasing it again.
Yeah, it would be.
I don't know, Connor. This one's touch and go right the way through.
Yeah, mate, sorry. Yeah, definitely touch and go, but we've seen it before from the Chris Croft boys before, that fuel saving's key. We saw it at Phillip Island. Adam Hughes saved 2 laps before everyone else had to go and save fuel, and then gapped everyone and got the win. So, I mean, different track, obviously, but we would just have Phillip Island, and just to show what kind of track it is, it kills the tyres, but obviously seeing these Porsches here, I'd go an aggressive strategy, to be honest. Go pit early, go and get some hot laps in, then yeah, see where you end up. To be honest, because personally, I'd be like, nah, I'm not sitting in this pack. That would be my plan. I don't know about yours, Scotty.
Oh, Shoes is back to saving again. So he's doing just enough to stay ahead. Just
Is that
enough
what you were
to stay
listening
ahead.
to?
Yeah, I'm listening to everyone engines notes because it's so much more critical than you realise. I don't think Mazzomo's saving. I think Muir might be. This race, you don't win Winton on the racetrack. You win it in pit lane.
Yeah. Yeah. Agree. Yeah, this is interesting. Definitely interesting. Awesome engine note from the cars as well. Love the noise. Definitely not bad. But yeah, I reckon Sam's dropped back a little bit. I reckon he's probably saving like you were saying. Who would you want to be in shoes wise? Who would you want to be?
Greg Barber. Got nothing to lose.
Yeah, it's got a huge gap behind him as well.
Huge hole. He's just playing the numbers. Greg has not shoved a nose anywhere so far. Greg Barber knows that there is a time and a place for going racing. And right now, he's not going to get anything except for an enemy. If he gets aggressive right now. Oh, Mazzomo just made a mistake.
Adam Hughes went wide there, and I think Simon just followed him. I think that's what it was. Someone both go wide there. How many laps? So we're on lap 17 now. So
We're scheduled to get about 45 laps.
yeah, so yeah, if you
Critical
get,
lap number, Connor, is about 23. If they can get to 23, they're fine at the end. 100% fine at the end. If they get to 22, they're touch and go.
oh, Brent's gas off the road. See what happens here.
So these guys will be right down low in the tank now. So that rear end will be starting to get spicy. And this will be where we see if the crisscross cars actually have pace.
Oh, so it's the gas having a front right there. Yep, so the fuel tank's got light. Car feels completely different when he's hit the brakes. Went off, sideways off into the dirt.
And that says to me that he wasn't expecting the car ahead of him to brake as hard as they did and as early as they did. Or he hasn't adjusted his bias for the tire, the fuel situation. Because for anyone who doesn't know, Porsches have their tanks in the front. They don't have them in the back like the other cars. Normally what happens is as the fuel burns off, you'll actually bring your brake bias forwards in most cars. But the big strength of the Porsche, when you put it in a GT3 field or a multi-car class field instead of this single make, single car, is that early on in the fuel tank, it's got a lot of pace because all of that extra weight's over the front. Later on, you've got all this glue in the rear end. But you've got to be a little bit more careful with how you pick up the throttle. The car's a lot less balanced when it's lighter on a field. But when you're in a single car, single class series like this, everyone's sort of feeling similar things based upon how they set the car up. But what will happen with the Porsche is instead of trending your brake bias frontwards, as you would with most other cars, in the Porsche will trend it rearwards because you've got more of... as the fuel burns off, you'll have less body weight, less percentage of the weight of the overall car comes down, and less percentage of that weight's in the front of the car. So the balance of the car completely shifts around.
Yeah, definitely, and you definitely notice it when you drive it. Feeling a bit of an experience recently, you definitely notice it when you're an amateur compared to these guys. So Simon was actually having a crack at Hughes there. So let's see what.
I reckon Greg Barber's still saving. I think Adams. Yeah. I think Adams now in a situation where either A, he's incredibly touch and go on his fuel numbers, or B, he is not going to make it.
Yeah.
Just because the field is pushing him too hard. The worst possible thing is, if Adam relinquishes track position, he's never getting it back.
Yeah.
Because I think Mazzomo just sets sail. I think he disappears up the road.
Yeah. Yeah, Greg should be good. He's just sitting there patiently.
Yeah, he's no fighting, no push. He's running to a fuel number rather than a pace number, and he's just managing the pace.
Yep. Just pushing Sam through the corner there. It'd be pretty easy around here. I've done it before. It's just clutching in at Winton. You can pretty much do it from turn 1 and turn 2. That's a no-go. That's a very sketchy place to clutch it in. But through all those S's, definitely just put the clutch in. Just let it ride through the corners, then get back on the throttle for the straights.
Honestly, Connor, not even clutch. Like through that middle section, I'd just be lifting off the gas earlier. Just let the car roll because I don't want the rear.
I think that was a holy crap moment for Greg Barber. that was close. Oh.
Well, he's a Kiwi, so it's currently 1:45 over there.
Oh, for Greg Barber?
Yep, Kiwi.
No way. No way. Good to see. Another Kiwi on track. There's about 2 of them right now on track. So, no, good to see a bit of diversity in the old racing.
Because all the smart ones are going to bed, you see, Connor.
Indeed. Yeah, driving I would not drive at the time they drive at, that's for sure.
Not in these cars, no.
No, not at all. I'd probably drive a GT. I've driven a GT at 3 o'clock in the morning with Scotty as well, ladies and gentlemen.
When did that happen?
That was Barcelona, 24.
I didn't do, were you in that race, were you?
Oh, you forgot about me, thanks.
Mate, so much has happened this year.
I know. Yeah, Barcelona was 24. You jumped in after me.
I didn't even know that you were in that server. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, we were in the same AWR car.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Honest to God, I don't remember that. Like, that is just one of the ones I forgot that even happened until you brought it up.
Long time ago, but Greg's just having a look. He's just having a sniff. I think he's still clutching though, or just saving.
Yowie. Glenn Watkins. Myself.
Yep. I did it with. It was right at the night, and Glenn. Oh, here's a bit of a story while we're riding on board. Glenn and I were supposed to do a stint, and he was supposed to swap.
I thought he was in. I committed. I thought Greg was done.
Just a bottleneck there, but yeah, Glenn's monitors went out, then I had to drive for 4 hours on my own. That was fun.
Okay. I never got that part of the story. I'm going to be honest. The part of the story I got was when the LMP1, that was the only LMP1 on track and was not racing anyone, decided to sideswipe us.
Yeah, I was in before you jumped in.
Okay.
Yep.
Because that happened just after I got out, yeah.
Yeah,
anyway.
Moving on.
There you go.
Just two commentators trying to figure out.
Mate, that's just my memory. Like, I was actually having a chat to Doug Gowans about TCR points actually earlier tonight, and Doug said to me, "Oh man, the points have just come out. You were 100% spot on with where the numbers were. If you tell me numbers, don't ever tell me a credit." The first time I ever worked in customer service where I started taking people's credit card numbers, I remembered the first 5 people's credit card numbers I took.
Yeah.
Like that's just my memory. So, yeah.
Sam trying to make a move on Simon, and Adam actually got really defensive there at turn, I think it was turn 3.
Well, critically, Connor, this is lap 22, so remember what we said, this is the critical lap number. If they can go one more lap here, they're goal. Now, have a think about where Greg Barber's situated. So it is now a one-stopper. I expect to see Harry Dodds to be the first car to pit. And I think Harry Dodds needs to be the first car to pit. I don't think he can wait. I think he needs that repair too quickly.
Even Braden Sagassa as well. And yeah, Mars already pitted. And I think that's it. So let's see if any of the boys go in.
There it goes.
Sam's in.
Yeah, so Sam's looking for the undercut. That's why he's peeling off. He recognises he's got the pace now. These guys are going to try and run along, hope for a little bit of a safety car, because this whole pecking order has just been backed up. The guy who can make the most out of this right now, but not necessarily in terms of race position, is Greg Barber. Oh!
No! Not like that, though. Push too hard too early.
Okay, it looks okay.
There's no way. I've
He's
done
got
that.
away with one.
Oh, the front left splitters. Oh, the front left's caved in.
But that's it. That's it. That's the only part of the car that's damaged. If he's got damage, it'll only be to the front left tyre. And I've got to say, Connor, it doesn't look bad. Have a look at the steering wheel here. Dodds look worse.
That was... Oh, I thought his race was done there. I was like, nah, done. Oh my God. Greg Barber just holding on for dear life there. That was unreal.
The biggest issue that Greg Barber's got now is Muir's going to undercut him, right? So Muir's pitted before him, so if he pits now, there's locking up of brakes up ahead too, and I don't think that was Sharma. I think that was either Mazzomo or Hughes. The biggest issue that Barber's got here is if he pits now, yeah, his pit stop's going to be quicker, but he's not close enough. He's in.
Oh, Greg's off the...
You commit. So he's definitely got damage, but it's not major. It's not...
Simon and Greg on the same strategy, so both in.
Well, that's smart from Simon. Simon cannot afford to do what Adam Hughes does.
Dodds is in. Sorry, what were you saying? Yeah.
Yes, Matt Stewart's the one who can pick up the most out of this group because he was just barely hanging on to the rear end of them, and the track's just cleared out in front of him.
Yeah, he's in a good little spot here.
And the other benefit with where Matt Stewart was sitting is that he was off the tail end of the group. Now, these cars do experience aero wash or wake, but nothing like an open wheel car. And why does it happen more in an open wheel car? More downforce, more aero structures, lighter car. That's why they're more vulnerable, more susceptible to it. GT cars create a lot more mechanical grip than they do downforce grip, but downforce is still a portion of that. And anytime you take away grip, that's where you wear away the tyres. So if Stewart's backed himself off from this pack, he's going to have saved a lot more tyre.
Oh, 100% he would have. 100%. And
Hughes is in. Stewart's in.
Yep. Oh, so same strategy.
Does Jackson pit? Because if Jackson goes an extra lap, he leads a lap. Feels good about himself.
Yeah, well that too.
I'd do it.
Yeah.
Mate, another one I can chalk up in the book. What did you do tonight? I was successful. I led a lap.
Yep. Saved an extra lap as well. Jake Jackson in as well. Oh, Greg Barber's just spun around. Oh, this is gonna hurt Greg. So, as we know, Matt and Jake are on the same strategy, same as Hughes.
You say he hasn't lost too much.
Hughes is just gapped Simon.
So I think Barber maybe hasn't brought the tyre, the brake bias back far enough forward, or he's not responding to the heavier car as well as he needs to now.
I think you're right about that brake bias, because it looked like the back end just went, so that'd be a brake bias issue.
I mean, no, it is throttle play, and he's obviously trying to drive aggressively. The issue is he's now been jumped by Matt Stewart. He's also been completely and utterly dropped off. So the biggest issue is Greg Barber did all this lovely work fuel saving, and then the laps where it counted the most are the laps where he's made mistakes.
Yep.
So he's basically taken all that hard work that he's done the whole race, thrown it away. Braden Sagasta's had a moment as well and dropped back.
I think that's from before as well. So this, he's hit the curb pretty aggressively as he hit the outside curb. Yeah. Oh!
Is he in VR?
No, he's on a single monitor.
Thank God for that. That'd make you ill if that was in VR.
I'd be like, oh, that's not gonna help.
tyre sticking out of the
No,
fender.
no, that was the original one. That was the original one. That's the original one. I can tell you for a fact, I'm watching Greg Barber right now. No, never mind. My apologies. My apologies. I was on a replay mode. That is indeed live. That is indeed Greg Barber. So those pictures you saw of him taking to the gutter after turn 2, that was live. All of that was live, unplanned, unscripted.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna hurt.
He's struggling to get that car stopped now.
Yeah. Oh, you'd be kicking yourself when you, because that first incident when he hit that gutter on the outside, he was pushing to just find a bit more time, push that tiny too much, and that was it. So, yeah, unlucky for Greg Barber.
Oh, he's struggling, absolutely struggling now. So this happened to me in the TCR a couple of weeks ago where I got camber damage or toe damage or something was wrong in one of the front 2 tires, right?
I think that is that with Jake?
It was Harry Dodds. It was at Sandown, the first time we went to Sandown.
Ah, yeah.
And you just can't pull the car up the same. I was braking in all the same spots, was doing everything the same as I normally do, and the car just would not stop. And what that then created was it was very deep, so I was slower on the mid-corner, having to stop, point the car a lot more, and the car was real twitchy the whole way down and through the braking, so we just extended it. So you're slow on entry. You've got to be slower on entry to pull the car up more so you can rotate it. That means that you're probably going to be slower at the mid-corner because you're driving a line you're not used to. Probably going to be slower on the exit because, well, you're slow everywhere else.
Yeah. So Sagasser might be out of this race just as hitting in the pits. Joe Jackson just on the screen trying to catch Dodds.
It's disappointing for Sagasser. I mean, we've seen probably some of the best that he's got to offer this season at Sandown. That was a cracking race to get the job done on Simon Mazzomo. So, disappointment. It'll sting. It'll really, really sting.
Yeah. Yeah. He's been doing well in his GT3s, but every time he's jumped back in these things, but yeah.
Somebody take him back to Sandown Week and tell him to buy a lottery ticket if you've got a time machine.
Yep. Definitely. That's probably the best I've ever seen him drive besides Winton, V8 Supercars with Dyke and all the shit behind him.
Just damn well practice, son. Just get in and practice more often.
Yeah. That's all it is, isn't it?
He's got raw talent, but you can't just take raw talent everywhere and extract results out of it.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Stewart and I were talking about it the other day. Like, Matt was saying he's had to practice. He's got to practice to be good in that car. And, you know, I'm kind of the same in a way, but sometimes I can just jump in and do well. But we were just like exchanging, you know, skill over talent, skill over numbers. And honestly, if you put both of them together, you get one hell of a driver. We've seen that with Shane Van Gisbergen and Scotty McLaughlin, like just those type of drivers. If you put both of them together, you've got a cracking driver. And sometimes they just don't put the time into get the numbers and study the numbers instead of raw talent, like Scotty's been saying. Oh, Craig Barber, look at that bonnet, Scotty. That'll hurt.
Well, 100% for sure. It's a tough pill to swallow, very bitter pill to swallow. Because for Greg Barber, I mean, there's only one driver he can blame. It's not like there was contact with another driver. He picked up the throttle early. He didn't rotate the car properly. He was trying to make the advantage of the hole that was created and just made a mistake.
Do you feel like sometimes it's when you do blame yourself, you're like, oh, but this could happen, and you're like, oh, it's just probably the hardest thing you can ever do, instead of actually getting taken out?
No, because if it's a mistake that I've made, I can improve upon it. I think it's actually easier and better. Yeah, it's tough because I get very down on myself in the moment. But the benefit is that the longer the list of things that I can work on, the better I can come back and be at the next race. And it's never about what I've done previously. It's always about what can I do at the next race? What's on the offer for me? How can I go out and get more out of the next race? And it's, the critical thing, I know Greg does a lot of racing for fun. He's just sort of chilled out. This is about all he really does. He's just having fun, man. But at the end of the day, he will be disappointed. But yeah, I mean, I hold myself to a very high standard, and I push myself as hard as I possibly can be. Sometimes it works for my benefit, and sometimes it detracts from me. And I think this week was one of the times it detracted from me. Over the last week and a half has been something that's detracted from me. I mean, how does Greg Barber respond to that? Does he push himself harder? Does he try harder? Does he relax a little bit more? Maybe he was pushing too hard.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like, how I make a mistake and I just look over it over and over and just go, right, what can I have done here? You know, even, I
think... I'll be honest with you, Connor. I think anytime you watch your own mistake more than 3 times, there's nothing more to be gained out of it.
Yeah. Then you go, okay. Yeah.
It's okay. That's a lie. You can watch it more than 3 times over, but the gains after that 3rd time. Look, the first time you watch it, there might be 2 tenths in it. The second time you watch it, you might find another half a tenth. The 3rd time you watch it, oh, you're scrapping for hundredths. And the 4th and 5th times you watch it, why are you worried about thousandths of a second? Thousandths of a second, you can't do something about consistently.
I think the other reason the other way I learn as well is just off people as well. Like I did a race this afternoon in the GT3s, and the day before there was a practice race, and I learnt off that guide just watching his lines, and I won today because it's just learning off people. There's so much information you can. You know, watching people and just watch how they put their car and where they put it and what gear they're in and what throttle they're using. Like, there was a corner where you'd have to put throttle on mid-corner, and a lot of people wouldn't do it because they thought the car would rotate, but it actually steady, like, made the car more planted. And, yeah, it's pretty crazy how you can learn off people, Scotty, and, yeah, well, obviously I'm doing that with you now. But yeah, it's pretty amazing, ladies and gentlemen, what you can learn off sim racing. It's a lot of people say to me, well, it's just turning left and right and putting the throttle down and putting the brake on, and no, no, it's definitely more than that.
It's also talking smack. Just talking smack is absolutely critical to sim racing.
Mate,
you can't talk with smack.
I've already got that down. Oh, Rob, if you haven't heard me, mate, buckle up.
That was buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle up. Don't think he said a dirty word there.
No. Oh, you'll be shocked, mate. But it's not a. I just had a look at points, Scott. I was like, oh yeah, let's have a look. Now, for points wise, Matty Stewart and Greg Barber are fighting for P3. And it's only by... Oh! Joe Jackson just flying off the barrier.
That's the place that everyone's coming unstuck tonight.
Oh, wouldn't be liking that.
Nice and steady, buddy. Nice and steady.
Ooh. Well, that
Okay, he's caught it. I'm going to need to see that again.
I was going to say, after this replay, I'll talk about points, but curb.
It's tried to swap ends on him on the way in. So he's had to delay as long as possible. He's turned back to the right-hand side.
Lucky the thing's back on 4 wheels, though. Is that another?
Who was that?
That's Jake Jackson.
Yeah, but who's coming in behind him?
Is that Sagas? No, that's Dean Hunt.
It's Dean Hunt, yep.
Oof. That would hurt. Pit stops maybe?
No, because they hit halfway. So it's a single stopper, so he's either got to wear it to the rest of the race or come in for a fast repair only.
Yeah, that hurts. That definitely hurts. But I'll talk about points now after that little commotion. Greg Barber and Matty Stewart are actually fighting for P3, and it's only separated by 30 points on the mark. So if Matt Stewart gets a better result than Greg Barber, the championship...
Yes, so Jake Jackson will transit back through pit. Oh! Dean Hunt will be glad we just faded away. because he just had a moment in the background of that shot. And this is Jake Jackson attempting to return to pit lane.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate for Jake. Fighting for a standings championship as well, so teams championship, sorry. So not really good for the teams championship with Matt Stewart. Unfortunate for Jake there.
Well, it's important to note that Sam and Mazomo and Muir, there is 17 points between them. And again, ladies and gentlemen, that's before drop rounds get applied. So the points will get a massive shake-up before next week.
Well, it's already close now. So what's it going to be like when the drop rounds come in, Scotty? It's going to be wild. That last race is going to be wild.
Adam Hughes is going to come way back into it because he's missed races. So he won't lose any points. Whereas I think just about everyone else that's ahead of him is guaranteed to lose points. So the way that it works, guys, at the moment in terms of the overall standings is that their entire points tally, every single point they've earned for the season, is on their tally. After tonight's race, the points will all get added up again, and their worst round will get removed. And if your worst round is a DNF because you didn't start, you got 0 points. You get 0 points subtracted from your total. Well, you stay right where you were. For everyone else, they'll have some points subtracted.
I wonder what's better, to be honest, Scotty. I think it's turning up. Obviously, you're gonna get less points, more points out of it than 0. But it's gonna be close because Greg Barber and Matty Stewart are 30 points off, and you said it was 20 points, did you say?
17.
17. Wow. It's close. Well, it's gonna be good for the last one. Do we know what track they're at next week, Scott?
I believe most of the series are heading to Bathurst, but I'll look that up. Give me a sec.
Oh, I do like Bathurst, Scotty. I do like Bathurst. I think everyone that's watching and all the drivers that are racing right now, I think that's everyone's favourite track in the top 3.
I just had a look at the Radicals. They're at Oran Park South, one of the short circuits at Oran Park.
Oh no!
For a series finale. Porsche Cup is coming from Bathurst. I can tell you TCR is coming from Bathurst. Oran Park for the Formula 3. Sprintcars will be at Volusia. Good track, Volusia. Good track. NASCARs are at Homestead, Miami.
Oh, that will be an interesting one.
Yeah, Sunset Miami's always good.
Yep.
Bathurst as well. So at the moment, 3 series are at Bathurst next week, and then we'll have a look at V8 Supercars. Bathurst as well. 5 series. Yeah, 5 series heading to Bathurst next week. 5 series of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 3 series not going to Bathurst, and 2 of them are oval series.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. 5 series of 9.
Yeah, that's. I tell you what, though, it's one of those tracks. Though it's an endurance track. It's trying to not, get the car in the wall and just get good exits and good entries and just be perfect everywhere. That's the hardest thing about Bathurst. It's just to be on the limit everywhere, but not hit a wall. Because in my mind and to most people, it's a straight circuit, and it is. It's a wild track. So, ladies and gentlemen, definitely come for next week because it'll be a wild one, that's for sure.
TCRs are going to be tricky. I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh yeah. You're going to have no turn in there. Like to turn that thing in at Bathurst. Yeah, good luck, Scott. Brake bias, completely out the rear.
Look after the tyres, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah, true.
It's going to be a tyre race, which again falls back in the favour of the good old Veloster.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I've always said the Veloster's my favourite.
Good choice, mate. Is it the exhaust, the big old cannon on the back end of that thing?
I actually like the big wing on the back. Always laughed about that thing.
Yeah, you're always a man for a big wang, aren't you?
Yeah, mate, definitely. Line that one up too.
Oh. Well, I'm just gonna call it Thursday puns, honestly.
Oh, there's a lot of action going on the track. Oh,
Yeah.
like I said, I think it's track day Thursdays.
Yeah, it is. It's almost like yeah.
The main attraction for me on Thursday nights is coming down here. I wet a line and see how many times I can hook Connor over the course of the night.
Oh, good on you. Good on you.
Mate, I tee it up. There's some great bait out there.
Ah,
Do your Connor research, ladies and gentlemen. If you're gonna banter on with Connor, you cannot banter on with Connor without doing the groundwork first. You have to do your research. There's a couple of things that he really reacts to.
oh no, do not say it. I'm screwed now.
Not on stream. No. I'll reserve those for myself. They're for personal use.
I think I've heard a couple of them already, but yeah.
Loves being called a muppet, our Connor.
Oh yeah, love it. Love it.
Yeah. You just lead him around with sticks everywhere and flappy gums and make him look like he's talking.
Yeah, pretty much. Nothing to it, ladies and gentlemen.
Was that a fastest lap of the race I've seen from Adam Hughes, or are we just looking at best laps? Is that most recent laps? I think that's. Yeah, he did on 19.787 on lap 26, which was 11 laps ago. So he's half a second slower than that. So the tyres have faded on him again.
Yeah, they definitely have. But to be honest, though, on lap 27, so after his fastest lap time, he went back to a 120.3, and his last lap was a 120.2. So he's been consistent. So definitely not a bad thing to be consistent. Let's see what he does.
Yeah, but it's when those tyres have chilled off. Driving through pit lane, and then he gets one lap of great grip, and then after that they've cooked again. So
yeah. Well, he just did a 19.8, so that's definitely a very good lap from Hughes there. So
fuel starting to come off again. Less than 10 minutes to go. 8 minutes on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. From your Porsche Cup penultimate round. Who's going to take the championship out next week, ladies and gents? We've already talked about the battle for P number 3 in the championship between Greg Barber and Matt Stewart. P4 and P5 on the road. But I don't think it's remiss of us. We probably should talk about the championship standings right up and down. Sam Muir has the lead by 17 points over Simon Mazzomo heading into tonight's race prior to drop rounds being applied. From there, it's 34 points back to Greg Barber, who currently holds a 30-point buffer over Matt Stewart. I think, if I can read properly. Yes, I can read properly. From there, it's 132 points back to Richard Mayer, who hasn't been in attendance for a couple of weeks. Adam Hughes is a further 20 points back off of him, which Adam will tick off tonight. So he will move himself up into P5. Dean Hunt on 534 is further 58 points back. Dodds is 489. Rick Kisnet's on 345, who dominated the early running. Callan Hodgkinson not here tonight. Ryan Polibnik. There's been 36 drivers take part in this season of Porsche Cup Series, so the cars are not unpopular at the start of the season.
Yeah, it was definitely banging at the start. It was awesome.
And we've seen 23 drivers plus some take part in the SR8 Radicals, because we've also got to add Sebastian Vandel, and there was another new driver there tonight. No, De Bono has scored points.
yeah, that's right. I think I'd have to go and have a look at the results, but I wonder what round he jumped in, because I definitely remember being him there. But
Got a podium. He got a podium very early on. 29 drivers in Formula 3 this season, so numbers are reasonably good. 30 drivers even in TCR. Sprintcars has been one of the surprising ones, actually. I've been enjoying the numbers in the Sprintcars.
How many's been in the Sprintcars?
28.
Wow, that's good.
About the season.
I'd throwing it down.
Do I have to look at my own points document to go and read the NASTRUCKS? I do.
I don't mind a bit of dirt racing. It's definitely good fun.
Well, your team boss is a big old fan of dirt racing, just not that kind.
I know. He's very quick in the old rally car too. So, cough cough rally car.
I believe it said brum brum rally car brum.
Brum brum.
I'll handbrake. Reef on the handbrake.
The V-dub probably sounds like cough cough bang bang, but yeah.
Which car does he prefer, good old Chris Bleakley?
He'd rather the Subaru. I won't say why he doesn't like the Volkswagen than the...
That's fine, because he's a smart man driving the Subaru.
Yeah.
Big old fan of a Boxster engine. And don't forget, ladies and gents, with less than 5 minutes on the clock, it's time to thank all those sponsors that make it possible for you. Actually, Simon Mazzomo, keep an eye on. We've got to keep an eye on his pace. He's just done purple sector in the first sector on the current lap, and he'll just finish off. So he is starting to respond and starting to come back after Adam Hughes. That lap time of Hughes's might be under assault, and that gap is starting to close down. Racecraft Simulations, Toyo Sim, DSL Welding Services, Melville Equipment Corporation, Warren & Brown Tools, and Dragon RC. The sponsors that proudly make it possible for Sim Racing World. You need a new spanner, you need a new torque wrench. Warren & Brown Tools will have you covered. Melville Equipment Corporation, for when you need to get the job done, Melville Equipment Corporation will get you there. DSL Welding Services proudly supply a train welding service to keep train tracks running. DSL Welding Services are a part of that one. Dragon RC, race control cars for your every purpose. Not just race control cars, race control supplies, full stop. If you're interested in anything race, RC, remote control, not race control. Planes, choppers, it flies, it has a motor in it, and it's controlled by a remote. They've got everything that you need to get yourself started. And of course, our sim provider partners as well. Racecraft Simulations, they will get you everything you need to get yourself out there. If you've been sitting in our audience so far this season and you want to take part next season in 2023, maybe have a word to Santa. Get him on down to Racecraft Simulations for John Lee and the team over in Western Australia. They will be able to assist you with getting your sim rig up and off the ground. Do you need wheels, do you need pedals? Well, that's where Toyo Sim can come in. They can really assist you with putting the nice finishing touches on your rig and ensuring that everything operates to the specs that you want it to. Ladies and gentlemen, the sponsors that make it all possible for Sim Racing World, we cannot do it without them. Also want to take the opportunity to say a big shout out to our new broadcaster here this evening, the good old Sainted Lord behind the camera. He won't say any words to you guys here this evening, but please know that we do thank him for coming on board, as well as our other broadcasters, Chef Toddy and Howie. He's not Shibby, he's Howie, and he will murder me once again for saying it that way, but that is what it is. To all the admin team as well, Stephen Sinkovich, Dean Sinkovich, Brad Wall, big shout out to those guys. Series does not run without those guys. And most importantly, Connor, the biggest announcement to come to Sim Racing World in 2022/3, because we're on our way into 2023.
Yes, indeed.
It has C in it. It has 31 in it. Do you know what it is?
Not a clue, mate. Guess
Channel 31. We're coming to the what is it? They call it community channels in Victoria and South Australia. So Sim Racing World will be on your TVs next year.
Yeah, it'll be great to hear us flapping our gums, and you guys can have a watch and see what it's all about. And if you guys want to come race, just text one of our admins and come race SRW. And we've got that many series. We were talking about it before. Come race. You can pretty much race 6 nights a week, and you can even make it on Saturday if you really wanted to. And yeah, come race, guys. It's awesome. Everything's here, and definitely it's one of the best leagues out there for sure. So come race, guys.
Righto, we are under 1 minute to go, which means the white flag, I think, is going to fly this next time by. I think they've gone back to the start-finish line.
I think you're pretty much on point with that one.
Yeah, I didn't see a white flag. I just went and had a quick look at Dean Hunt passing the start-finish line, and I did not see a flag waving. So
I'm wondering if I wonder if Simon's got enough in the tank to get Hughes. I reckon he's been chasing Hughes for the last 10 laps or so. So See if he can hunt him down for this last lap. White flag now. Riding on board with Simon.
He's a touch too far back. That's the critical piece. It's sort of relying on an Adam Hughes mistake, and with that much of a margin, Adam Hughes is going to make sure that he drives it to the letter.
Yeah, no lock. Oh, he's pulling him in slightly in the corners, but he's not getting the exit off. That's what Adam's doing. He's just getting the exit.
It's opened up just slightly, up to 7/10 of a second as they pass the halfway mark of the lap. Running out of time. It's been the Adam Hughes show here tonight. A few weeks out, a few weeks away from the sim rig, but he comes back and he puts his stamp on the series once again in style. Driver for Crisscross Esports, Simon Mazzomo, has put together another great race. He'll be a little bit disappointed. Didn't get the start that he wanted, but the run down to T number 1, he managed to slot himself into P number 3. So it was Sam Muir who got pole position. My apologies. Simon Mazzomo got a great launch, and he'll be really proud of the way that he muscled his way past Sam Muir. It was good, respectful racing at multiple points. But that is it from Adam Hughes. He is signed, sealed, and delivered this one. Mazzomo will take away P number 2. We'll throw it back to Greg Barber, who's trailing back there in P5. It's going to be locked in for Sam Muir. Podium 1, 2, 3 locked in. Matty Stewart will get home with that P4. And then out of the last turn, Greg Barber will think what could have been. And he's got it home, but unfortunate for Greg. In P number 5, Harry Dodds will sneak home in P number 6. He also would have thought, hey, this was probably something that went amiss here from Harry Dodds. But points where they count. Emma Sharma sneaks home in P7. Great showing from the Vast Motorsport driver. Dean Hunt will cross the line in P number 8. Last car running. So 8 drivers will finish here tonight. Your drivers not to have finished in order of the most laps completed: Jake Jackson in P9, Braden Sagassa in P10, Jake Pickett, and that is it. 11 cars took to the track there tonight, and the early running, Connor, it was close. 5, 6, 7 cars covered by absolutely nothing.
Yeah, there was absolutely nothing in it, mate. It was all it took was probably a front lock and open up the door the tiniest little bit, and someone would go through, and then everyone would go through. But yeah, it just looked like everyone had their big, big brains on tonight and didn't make a huge crash, and it was good to see.
Yeah, I think the one thing that'll be remembered by most people about coming to Winton is you got to stay out of that gutter. We've seen that way, way, way too many times as the podium will start to form themselves up over on the start-finish line. We'll get ourselves into interview mode, but it's good to see that the Promo Department safety car did not make a trip out onto the track tonight.
Yeah, it's good to see. I'm surprised there wasn't one when Greg or Jake or Braden smashed that gutter, but besides that, it was great driving from everyone tonight. It's good to see.
Yeah, that's it. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's your podium. We'll jump straight into our interviews as soon as we possibly can. We're talking to Simon Mazzomo, Sam Muir, and Adam Hughes in no apparent order. Apparently, I can't read 1, 2, 3. I just read them out as best as I see the names when they pop up. Theoretically, they may not even jump in. It's been a long night. An hour of racing around.
Yeah, I'd be like, nah, I'm done. See you, boys. Oh, yeah, bugger that. Well done to them, though, if they come into the green room. And
there they are. All right, without any further ado, we'll jump straight into it. Sam Muir, you're not allowed to be interviewed by Connor because you've just signed with him. The 1-9 entry. Qualified it on pole tonight, brother, but that crisscross thing is just quick off the line, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. Pretty disappointing when you put it on pole at a place like Winton not to come home with the win, but yeah, full credit to Hughesy. Got the jump off the line, and then yeah, just controlled the race from there pretty much. And then yeah, great move from Simon down at T1. Was pretty forceful, but that's what you got to do to get position on this track. So.
Well,
yeah,
I want to point out how respectful it was from both of you guys, because the amount of times that you guys went side by side through corners, it was just ridiculous. but everyone came away at the other end of it, and that's the difference, isn't it? You know, you've got to survive to score points. There was a little bit of rubbing, but it was the appropriate amount for what a Porsche Cup car can take.
Yeah, that's it, and you know that's why I keep coming back every Thursday night's race with these guys. They're going to race you hard, but they're going to race you fair, and you know it's difficult for leagues, I think, to get both of those boxes ticked. But there's a great bunch of guys here that come out every Thursday night, and yeah, as particularly Simon, gone door to door with him, you know, just about every week, I think. So yeah, pleasure to race against guys like them.
In terms of things, we head to Bathurst for the season finale next week. It's going to be incredibly difficult. It's the Porsche Cups around Bathurst. Everyone always talks about you make a mistake, you touch the wall, it's over. But this is one of the most tricky cars to take to a track like that. It's unloaded, there's no assists, and if you get it wrong and you wiggle at the top of the mountain, disaster strikes at any moment. And I don't think we saw a single car in the top 10 or any car out there tonight not have a wiggle at some point.
Yeah, exactly. Took full advantage of the officials for Porsche Cup being at Bathurst last week, and yeah, learnt a lot, as you say, especially across the top there. There's a couple of places in particular where the back end just wants to take over, and very easy to put it in the wall, and then yeah, it's such an unforgiving place as well. Yeah, you're going to get a meatball, and that's going to be all she wrote. So final round of the championship, there's absolutely nothing in it between the guys at the front. So I think we'll go there with maybe a little bit of a points advantage, which will be handy. And then, yeah, for the other guys, it's probably going to be a matter of them having nothing to lose and sort of win it or bin it. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see, I suppose, how we end up approaching that final round.
Well, talk to us about the point situation. Obviously, let's take whatever the number is at this stage out of the equation completely and utterly. Let's not talk numbers. You've got a buffer, so obviously you're going to be taking a little bit less risk, but at the same time, you've got to be close enough that should anything happen, you're still there to pick up enough points. You're still there. You know, if Mazzomo hits the lead, you've got to be sitting P3. I think. I don't see a world where you can be any further back than that, just in case something happens.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, we'll bust out the spreadsheets this week and do all the maths around, you know, everyone who's in mathematical contention, exactly, you know, how far down the list that we can finish to still claim a championship. But at the same time, it's Porsche Cup, it's Bathurst, it's, you know, one of those awesome combos, and yeah, you know, you're always going to have one eye on the championship, but at the same time, you know, if there's a podium on the line at Bathurst, you know, the red mist usually takes over, and it can be hard to, yeah, if there's a gap or an opportunity to get a win or a podium there, always got to go for it. And as you say, I mean, the points are going to be that close anyway. You don't want to be really driving around thinking, oh, I just have to finish sixth to win the championship or whatever, because, you know, that happens. You know, you're driving around in sixth place, you end up having a moment, and then you drop back to eighth, and then, you know, it's all over. So yeah, maybe it'll be best just to put the points aside and just go hammers and tongs, and, you know, just try and get the win.
All right, mate. Well, it sounds like you've got everything sorted for tomorrow, for next week, for the mentality side of things. It's now you've got the setup, the fine tuning left to do. Who makes it possible for you is that you can keep turning everything over and ensure that that sexy new looking car is right where it needs to be.
Yeah, well, shout out to 19, and thanks to Chris and the guys for taking me on board. Always good to get a good result on debut in the new colours. So yeah, big thanks to 19 and to major sponsor MX Wraps. Yeah, it's great to be on here. And big shout out to Race Control. Didn't have much to do tonight, but always thank you for your efforts, and to everyone at SRW for putting on such a great show. I forgot to mention him last week, so I'll mention him this week. Shibby, thank you so much for all your efforts, mate. Putting on a great product.
Howie. His name's Howie. Call him Howie. Nobody around here. No, all the cool kids are calling him Howie.
Start making people call me Howie.
I promise you, all the cool kids call him Howie.
No, nobody. Shout out to Rob tonight as well, Sam. Thank you so much for the thanks, mate. But shout out to Rob, our new producer, coming on board. He took over the show tonight while guided him through. So we all appreciate hearing the feedback from all the drivers and how much you appreciate the work we put in. So thanks, Sam.
No, thank you. You guys, do a fantastic job. So, I'll be sure to catch the replay tomorrow and see, hopefully, the 1-9 getting plenty of coverage and some nice words from Connor, I'm sure.
Yeah, of course, mate. Of course.
Cheers, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Sam Muir, finishes in the P3 here tonight. Moving on to P number 2, Simon Mazzomo manages to pick up a second step of the podium, and mate, it was close the whole way through. You obviously would have heard or seen something about the man ahead of you, Adam Hughes, doing a little bit of fuel saving in that opening stint, but that's Winton. You got to pace manage. You can't just run away here and expect to run away with the title. You've got to look after tyres. You've got to look after fuel numbers. You've got to tick every single box that's on offer.
Yeah, that was definitely his strategy. That battle obviously early on with Sam, which I heard that interview Sam say was a bit forceful. I actually, quite honestly, I just overshot my braking marker. I still don't know how I actually pulled up and got it turned. Like, I was shocked it actually turned when it did. So that was my get out of jail free card. But sort of when I was all over the back of Adam. I thought, Adam's got a bit more pace than this. This seems a bit off. And then I realised into the braking zone, he was backing off like 150 metres earlier. So it's like, okay, this is now a fuel race. So yeah, that's why I sort of in that mid stint, I just backed off and just sat in this draft the entire time because basically I just rolled on to, save fuel, try and see if we can undercut him in the stop, which, didn't work out in the end. Adam had me covered.
Yeah, look, I mean, sometimes it's just that little bit too much to do. And I mean, he was doing it very, very early on. But he had the margin to go out and do it very, very early on. And that's, at the end of the day, that's the difference. When you're in there early, when you're committed to a strategy early, when you're doing everything you can make happen early, that's just how it is. Obviously, the track tonight, tricky, difficult. I mean, do those words even describe racing around Winton?
What did Dick Johnson say? It's like running around a clothes horse or something like that. Like, it's pretty damn accurate. Like, I was just saying to Adam just then, I was like, it's an hour-long race, but I feel like I've just done 2 hours around friggin' Le Mans or something like that. It's just ridiculous. Like, even in these things compared to like supercars that you usually race around here, supercars are 10 times more difficult. But even then, you're still, we're especially that last set, trying to chase down Adam, you're just pushing as hard as you can, and you've got to be so precise, especially around sort of the top of the track, around the tree and everything else. You've got to be so precise where you put the car. If you sort of push it too deep into the corner, you just lose heaps of time. So you've got to be really precise in where you actually position the car in that sequence. And just mentally and physically, it's just draining. So, yeah, please let's not do another hour around here. I can't do that again.
Okay, no worries. I'll take that on board. I'll tell the admins to schedule the next Enduro for an hour around Detroit Belle. You got it.
I'll do that. Oh. Man.
Chicago's up there too.
I don't own Chicago, so you can't do that one. Sorry.
I did an endurance around there recently. It's not fun.
You think that Detroit Belle single line? No. Detroit.
Yeah. Detroit's a mind melter, that's for sure.
I think I did a 3-hour enduro around there in a GT3 once, and it was tough, but it was fun. Like, Belle,
Simon,
it's a track, but Belle Isle is absolutely really track to race on, especially this long distance.
Oh, mate, there is something wrong with you, all right? Mate, who would you like to thank with all your sponsors, mate?
See, that's a polite way of telling me to get lost. Big shout out to the team, as always. Racecraft, Turn In Race Apparel, RSW Graphics, Racing News, Cutting Edge Tracks, FU Suicide, and RB Media. And big shout out to you guys again. And SRW for putting the race on. And yeah, thanks to the guys for racing, Adam, Sam, and Greg, just every week. Awesome racing, you guys love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Mazzomo, and I promise you there was a lesson on how to say your name at the start of the broadcast tonight, so you're going to have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, I'll add that to my. There's probably gonna be a few that I can add to the list of how to pronounce my last name or how not to pronounce my last name.
Oh, no.
I'm sure, but he's done it enough times, mate. There's probably we can slap together a supercut at this point. To be honest with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
you probably could. Sorry about saying your name wrong, bro. Honestly.
Mate, as an Italian in the Australian country, I've grown used to the fact that no Aussie can say my last name. I'm used to it now. It doesn't even worry me.
Well, there you go, Scott.
Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Mazzamo finishes in the runners-up spot tonight. Thank you very much, Simon.
Cheers, boys.
Finally, a man that absolutely cannot drive and don't listen to a word he says.
No,
he
not
told you
a thing.
otherwise.
How you going?
A man that needs no introduction, Adam Hughes. Adam, you finally managed to squeak your way back into one of these things, mate. It's been too long.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute or two. It's between wins for these things and for GT3s. I've just had a bad run of luck for the last week or two. It's just been absolutely shocking. So yeah, it's nice to be back up there for a change.
In terms of the strategy tonight, obviously we saw how aggressively you were fuel saving just about from the word go, but all of that set up about from everything that happened at the start line, mate. Had to get the jump, had to get it off the road and rolling, and the clutch release was just about bang on.
Yeah, mate. Credit to Sam. He's just like Sam and Simon have both picked up their game, and Sam's qualifying pace is just absolutely bonkers. He always naps myself, Simon and Barbs and Matty Stewart all the time. So I think the only thing I could really fault with him is just his race starts. I always seem to get a better jump than him. So just was able to release the clutch a bit quicker, a little bit smoother, and I was able to capitalise and got a decent run on him, and then proceeded to hold station. And I was sort of speaking to Barbs about it, and the fuel saving at the end of the night wasn't really worth it. I think I only saved like a litre. Like there's not enough straights, there's not enough corners to roll through. It's very much stop-start, so it's probably just a waste of time fuel saving, to be honest.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you've got to cover off both approaches because you forced Simon. We just talked to him about what he had to do to make it happen as well. And Simon said, yeah, look, I mean, as soon as I realized it was fuel saving, I sort of had to go and try and have a crack at it myself because, well, I've got to undercut him. I've got to overcut him. I can't do what he's doing. So you did actually force the hand of a few different guys.
Yeah, there was a trainer was for a good period of time, for more than half the race, and like he was speaking to me, like Simon said to me, he put in 39 litres, and I only put in 38. Like there's only a litre difference. Like it wasn't much, but I think I was more worried about the tyres, if anything. That was my main concern because, like the left, like obviously the track's more predominantly more right than left, and the tyres were just getting destroyed. So that's why I just sort of slowed down to like a second and a half slower a lap, and I think the other guys sort of got the memo, and they all sort of started doing something similar. So yeah, look, I think I just got a bit lucky in some regards, Scotty. I think just with Sam and Simon having a good tussle here and there, that sort of gave me a nice gap to call the tyres and just to keep a steady pace without making too many errors, which I must admit I made a few in a few very unlikely places, but yeah.
Well, I mean, we were watching it up and down the field a little bit as well in terms of what was going on. I said to Sam when he jumped in here, there wasn't a single car up and down the field here nor there that didn't make a mistake at some point. That's the nature of Porsche Cup racing, and that's the nature of Winton Park. The racing surface looks wider than it really is. The places that you actually want to put the car is definitely nowhere near that racetrack. And once you run out of room, it's not just off. It's, well, you're going a long, long way off.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's what the problem is. This is pretty much reminiscent of Sandown on both weeks we've been there. Like you only got really one spot to pass, maybe two. And that's predominantly based on if the car in front's had a massive mistake coming out or into the corner, and you've got a better run. Otherwise, you're just a freight train, and that's what Winton is. There's nowhere to pass, and if you leave yourself open, a car can get under you, and you can't close the door. You just have to let them go and give them the space. You can't sort of muscle them out. It just doesn't work because if you do it, there's nothing stopping you going off. You're going off into grass or to sand or into a tyre barrier, and that's your race done. So you got to play it smart. As much as you want to say no, you can't have that. You got to play it smart and try and think of the long game. As much as it's hard to do that, but you got to do it.
In terms of the championship standings, we're obviously awaiting the results of drop rounds and drop weeks coming into the equation. That'll play you a fair bit back, but you're understanding that you're a long way distant at this point in time, and it's not that you're out of the championship, it's just that you're not 100% in the championship is the difference.
Yeah, a bit of a pain in the bum. I had one power outage, I think, on the first Winton round, which was not meant to be my drop round, and yeah, that's sort of that ended up becoming a second no points finish. So that's sort of where that's gone, sort of up the creek without any paddles. So I think for this moment, I think all I can do is probably muster a second or third, unless Simon and Sam have a terrible race next week, which is at Bathurst, which I think is the final week for everything for all the series. So if I finish first, just for argument's sake, they have to, I assume, finish something chronically badly last or close to it. So I think it'll just be a game of recover and see what I can get out of it. If I can get a top 3 for the season, I think I'll be pretty happy with that, with all things considered.
All right, mate. Well, congratulations on the result, at least tonight. It's good to see you back out there, and I'm going to go ahead and say that it sounds like you thoroughly enjoyed yourself here tonight, and I get the feeling we'll be seeing you again in the very near future once more.
Yeah, mate, absolutely. A little bit worn out from doing an hour straight of Winton, so yeah, it's not easy. But no, I'll be back if the Porsche Cup car doesn't come back next season. I'll be probably more or less heavily focusing on the GT3s.
No, that Wednesday night stuff, mate.
Wednesday night stuff. What's on Wednesday night?
The most important race of the season is TCR.
That would be. Oh. Yeah, but it's a bit hard to go from front-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive. Some of us aren't as gifted as you, mate.
Oh, do not say that.
I knew I'd get you to talk by saying that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I was going to say, mate, you had a dominant night. What's it kind of been like coming back to this round? It must be one hell of a round to come back to, especially being an hour, then being pressured by Simon at the end.
Yeah, fair game to Simon. He didn't let me have it easy. He definitely made my life hard. He wouldn't give me any breathing space whatsoever, more than 2 seconds worth. So he kept me honest and on my toes. And look, I was sort of just hoping that no one would pass me, because I knew that if Sam or Simon would pass me, I was just hoping that they would spin, or the pit stops would sort of phase in. I would get them on pit stops. So I was pretty lucky they didn't pass me. But yeah, just gutted, mate, just because I've had that extra drop round that I didn't need and want because of a power outage. That's what's sort of ruined the whole momentum of the championship. So yeah, a little bit annoyed and angry, but look, it is what it is, mate. I'll just have to focus my attention onto GT3 and try to bring that home.
I was going to say, I might as well ask it while we're here, because obviously I commentate on Friday night. What's it kind of been like jumping between the two? Obviously, I've already called you the factory Porsche driver. Obviously, going from a GT3 and a Porsche Cup, my teammate Jake Jackson, he says it's a massive struggle going from a GT3. That's what he mainly drives, to a Porsche Cup, because he said it's just, you've got no ABS and traction control anymore, and then when you jump into these things, it's almost like a supercar.
Yeah, it really is. Thing I've found the most, and probably the most difficult between the two, is the Porsche naturally wants to understeer through the corner, but you can floor it and not have the rear kick out unless you make it. But you can just bump the traction up or take it off, or ABS off or on, whatever you want. And you can just put your foot down and just basically drive and forget. But then that's in the GT3s. But once you come back to the Porsches, you've got to realise that they haven't got ABS, haven't got traction. Your right foot is your traction control. And the things like to actually sit on the front of the nose, and they turn and rotate through the corners a lot better. Yeah, and surprisingly, they seem to get to top speed a little bit quicker than the GT3s, which is very surprising. So I found it sand anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's kind of funny because I was in the GT3 today and a different league for NZ. And I'm normally a supercar driver and an IndyCar driver. And the first thing I said when I jumped in the GT3 Porsche went through the pits and I hit my brakes and I was waiting for the thing just to lock up. And I was like, oh God, ABS is nice. But
yeah, it's a godsend, isn't it? Like it's just
mate,
excellent.
it's great.
I think the thing that trips me is like with the sandown round we had last week, it was in the Porsche GT3, I was struggling to get to 6th gear. I would get to 5th gear and then I'm hitting the brakes for both straights. But whereas in the Porsche Cup car, I'm hitting 6th gear and I'm pinging in 6th gear before I hit the brakes. So it's just different. Like it's just the way the car operates through a corner, the way it stops, the way it accelerates. You know, you accelerate with the G3 and you get just natural understeer, whereas you do with the Porsche Cup car and you actually can get the extra rotation out of it. So
yeah, I found a little trick in that GT3 this afternoon, which I don't need to tell my teammates. But yeah, honestly, mate, I'll be in there next season for the GT3s and give it a hot crack. But mate, who would you like to thank with all your sponsors, Ben?
Obviously, you are four lovely gentlemen for obviously doing the comms and also for the cameras all night, respectively. So appreciate it. I know it's only 12 or so cars in the field tonight, so I'm tipping it wasn't exactly that flash hot. So yeah, appreciate you guys sticking around and obviously pushing through. Obviously, massive shout out to Sam, Simon, to my teammate Barbs, who had a below average night that just had some bad luck, and obviously to Matty Stewart for being part of the fast pack at the front there, appreciate it, and obviously everyone else, Crisscross Racing guys and girls there, Poolmaster, AE Boards, Smoke Studios, KYB, Shunts, and a massive shout out to Palmerston Bakery for being on the car.
100%, mate. I was a quick question before you send you off, mate. For next season, it's going to be a hot crack for the team championship because you'll have Matty Stewart and Sam right behind you and Barbs.
For Porsche Cup or for GT3?
Oh, Porsche Cup, mate.
Yeah, it's pretty close with the team's championship, so I'm hoping we can try win that. So yeah, we'll be trying to do some extra mileage for next week for the for the finale rather.
Yep. Yeah, 100%, mate. Well done to you, and have a good one, mate. We'll see you next week.
Likewise, boys. Appreciate it. Cheers for tonight.
So easy.
All right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to bring us to a wrap here on the endurance round from Winton Motorsports Park. I mean, it was interesting. It kept us on our toes. It wasn't easy by any stretch of the imagination, and the driver's limits were certainly tested, Connor. And that's just about all we can ask for.
Pretty much, eh? We love seeing everyone's limits getting tested. And I love, personally, I like seeing myself getting tested. So for these guys, it would be great to learn what the limits of the car, because I could imagine finding the limits of the car would be definitely this track. Getting it out of the corners, hit the brakes, and seeing what the downforce can do. So definitely.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed everything that has been on your screen so far. Tomorrow night, the GT3 action with Connor and Hughesy were just talking so raptly about. That will be coming your way, early on in the evening. Unfortunately, I won't be around for it. Connor, I think you're on commentary duties once again tomorrow night. So enjoy yourself, mate. Enjoy yourself.
Oh, I always do, mate, with Brendo. It's always a good laugh, and
I heard you guys were giving me a whole bunch of stick last night, so yeah.
Oh no. I'll run before I get shot.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure bringing you all the coverage here on the SRW TV YouTube channel. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and we'll see you again tomorrow night for some more racing action.
Bye.